The era of Beast Girls begins with a pact with an SSS-Level School Beauty. Welcome back, brave explorers of impossible worlds. We are excited to have you here to continue this odyssey together. Before we continue, everything you'll hear is pure fiction. So please don't try to replicate combat techniques at home. This wonderful story in all its rights belong to its brilliant original author. We are only the messengers of entertainment. Want another dose of adventure? Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss a single chapter. And if you can't wait, our Patreon has exclusive surprises you'll love. Chapter 276 agreed. She didn't usually eat desserts and didn't like them, so she couldn't force her to eat them. Calling a chef team now wouldn't be quick enough. Yunbing grew anxious. Inviting her to dinner had resulted in embarrassment, and now getting her consent would be even more difficult. Come to think of it, Yunbing felt she should thank Mu Qingsu, because it was Mu Qingsu's presence that led the city lord to agree without hesitation when she requested a top-notch chef team from the city lord's mansion. The table was laden with desserts, and Chang Bingxi and the other two girls wolfed them down, their mouth full of cream. Mu Qingsu, however, showed no appetite, pouring herself a glass of water and sipping it slowly. Thus, a stark contrast appeared in the living room. While everyone else ate with gusto, Mu Qingsu remained quiet and reserved, only drinking water. Xiao Ye noticed this and said, "Why don't you go back first, and we can make your favorite food at the next gathering?" Mu Qingsu shook her head. "No, I'm your beast girl too. Even if I don't eat, I still want to stay with everyone." Xiao Ye was taken aback, suddenly realizing that this proud little girl had become so obedient. He reached out and poured out the glass of water, saying, "Just because you didn't like it before doesn't mean you don't like it now. Try a few sips." Mu Qingsu rolled her eyes. "What am I supposed to drink if you pour out my water? Really?" Despite saying that, she obediently took out a spoon, filled it with dessert, and fed herself a bite. The sweet, cloying sensation spread through her mouth, and an expression of discomfort appeared on her pretty face. Even so, she forced herself to swallow it, and the moment she did, a look of discomfort and awkwardness appeared on her face. Xiao Ye sighed. "All right, you really don't like desserts? Then don't eat them. Go drink some plain water, go get it yourself." Mu Qingsu breathed a sigh of relief and happily ran off to pour herself a glass of water. She took a small sip, and a relaxed and cheerful expression appeared on her pretty face, completely opposite to her awkward expression while eating dessert. Xiao Ye slapped his forehead, exasperated. Only you could make such a face from drinking plain water, he thought. Then, remembering something, he asked, "Want some golden blood? I can make an exception and give you a drop." Mu Qingsu pushed the glass of water towards him, her beautiful eyes pleading. "Yes," she said, "but isn't one drop too stingy? I want to." Xiao Ye dripped a drop of golden blood into the glass, saying, "One drop is enough. What kind of behavior is this, drinking blood? We'll gather the resources when we have the chance and upgrade your template. Then you won't crave golden blood anymore, and you won't feel anything for it." Although time-type magical beasts are hard to find, they shouldn't be extinct in this world, right? Mu Qingsu was overjoyed. She held the glass in both hands, shaking it to mix the golden blood evenly, and exclaimed happily, "Xiao Ye, are you willing to upgrade my template now?" She remembered when she first came to Kunpeng Academy, Xiao Ye said their contract was only temporary and he wouldn't upgrade her template, saying it wasn't worth it, that she wasn't worthy. Xiao Ye nodded, "Of course." Mu Qingsu was overjoyed, her happiness overflowing. At this moment, she felt as if her heart was filled with bliss. Xiao Ye's words were tantamount to completely acknowledging and accepting her as a beast girl. Chang Bingxi then pulled her face out of the dessert plate and pointed to 5 or 6 special desserts on the other side of the long wooden table, saying, "Qingsu, not all desserts are cloyingly sweet. There are also some that are quite light, with only a hint of sweetness that can be ignored, retaining most of the original ingredients' flavor. For example, there's the lion's head pastry, mermaid pastry, dinosaur anti-mother pastry, and King Kong tiger pastry, etc. You can try these special desserts, you might like them." Mu Qingsu took a small spoonful of the lion's head pastry, ate a bite, and then drank a sip of water mixed with golden blood. Her beautiful eyes lit up, and a joyful expression appeared on her pretty face. It was unclear whether the dessert or the golden blood brought her joy. Regardless, Mu Qingsu's appetite was whetted, and she said, "It tastes good." She then joined the dessert-eating frenzy, no longer sitting idly by. Yunbing smiled. placing the plates on the wooden table in front of her, but gave Xiao Ye a strange look. Why was this guy's blood golden, and why was he making people drink it? Was this some kind of bizarre fetish? Yunbing secretly transmitted her voice to Xiao Ye. After everyone has finished eating, take Mu Kingsu back first. I have something to say to Bingxi and Liu Yan. Xiao Ye nodded and transmitted back, okay, good luck, and may all your wishes come true. Yunbing rolled her eyes. If she succeeded, Xiao Ye would be the one benefiting. Half an hour later, everyone was full and satisfied. Mu Kingsu patted her slightly protruding, white belly, very pleased. Xiao Ye took her hand and whispered in her ear, come with me, I have a big treasure to show you, you'll definitely love it. The two left the villa and headed towards their own villa. In villa number 2, Yunbing looked at Cheng Bingxi and Liu Yan with some trepidation and said, Bingxi, Liu Yan, I want to form a contract with Xiao Ye, and I hope to get your permission. Huh? The two women sitting in the chairs were stunned. Nangguang Xiao ran over and pinched the two women's delicate cheeks, saying coquettishly, this dessert was made by Xiao Bing with great effort and energy. You can't just eat it and not do anything. Quickly agreed to Xiao Bing's request. She emphasized the word Xiao Bing. Cheng Bingxi felt dizzy and couldn't quite process it. Sister Yunbing, you are a supreme powerhouse. Do you really want to form a contract with Xiao Ye, who is only at the venerable realm? In her heart, Yunbing was a high-ranking figure, a powerful figure in the Magic City base, and the respected and admired Vice Dean of Kunpeng Academy. She had always regarded Yunbing as a senior. Liu Yan said, Vice Dean, weren't what you said yesterday just a momentary impulse? You've really developed feelings for Xiao Ye? In Liu Yan's heart, Yunbing was her superior who had always taken care of her, a respected leader. Yunbing nodded heavily, her tone very firm, and directly admitted, yes, that's right, I've developed romantic feelings for Xiao Ye, so wanting to form a contract with him isn't a momentary impulse, nor is it a joke. What are your opinions? Cheng Bingxi and Liu Yan exchanged glances, somewhat hesitant. Nangguang Xiao became anxious and stamped her foot, saying, actually, whether we agree or not isn't important. What's important is that bastard Xiao Ye has already agreed. Xiao Bing only sought our opinions privately because she respects us very much? Cheng Bingxi and Liu were stunned. Xiao Ye agreed? Cheng Bingxi spoke up, Sister Yunbing, you should think it over carefully. Xiao Ye already has many beast girls. After you form a contract with him, you can't have him all to yourself. Sometimes you might be neglected and unable to find him. Yunbing indicated that she could accept it. After a moment, Cheng Bingxi and Liu made their decision. Xiao Ye already had one more beast girl a few days ago, so it's fine if he has one more. We agree. Yunbing was overjoyed. Chapter 277 The contract is about to be made. The two women agreed so readily because Xiao Ye had already promised, and Yunbing had shown them respect by asking for their opinions. However, they found it somewhat unbelievable that Vice Dean Yunbing would be interested in a junior, a mere teenager who had just come of age. Reality was indeed the most absurd, far more exaggerated than novels or movies. But when they considered Xiao Ye's excellence, they felt it was perfectly reasonable, proving that Yunbing had good judgment and had chosen a truly outstanding prodigy. Yunbing was in a good mood and said, Bingxi, Xiao, Liu Aya, from now on we're family. If you need anything, just let me know, and I'll do my best to meet your needs. She looked at Cheng Bingxi and Nangguang Xiao, if you need to use the school's resources, I can grant you maximum access. If you need cultivation resources, I can provide you with school or personal resources. Then she looked at Liu Aya, if you want to regain your professorship, just tell me. Not only at the school, but even in the Magic City base, if you have any needs, you can tell me. As one of the top 10 supreme beings in Magic City, the Kunpeng Supreme, I can handle many things. Liu Aya's beautiful eyes gleamed. This was different from Dean Yangxi's protective umbrella. Yangxi only provided protection for their lives, but Yunbing could provide comprehensive assistance to Xiao Ye and them in all aspects of life, studies, cultivation, and safety. If Xiao Ye formed a contract with her, it would be like forming a contract with a supreme powerhouse. The Kunpeng Supreme, ranked 4th among the 10 supreme beings in the demon capital base, would significantly elevate his status. Yunzai would rank 1st, the top-tier Supreme City Lord 2nd, the top-tier Supreme Hong family head 3rd, and the high-level Supreme Yunbing 4th. Liu suddenly felt that forming a contract between Xiao Ye and Yunbing was a very good idea. Then she said, "Sister Yunbing, welcome to our Beast Girl family. From now on, we're family." Yunbing was very happy, But then she faced a dilemma. I haven't gotten the last Beast Girl's consent yet. The eldest daughter of the Mu family, who's been pampered since birth, what do you think of her feelings towards me? Will she reject me? Will she accept me? Cheng Bingxi, Liu Yan, and Nangong Xiao were stumped by the question. After a moment's hesitation, they all said, "We don't know. We haven't known her as long as you have. Zuir is a bit arrogant and stubborn, but she genuinely likes Xiao Ye. Oh dear, we all agree. What can she do if she disagrees? Xiao Bing and Xiao Ye forming a contract is inevitable." The last sentence was spoken by Nangong Xiao. Yunbing pondered for a moment and said, "Doesn't everyone really know her? That makes things difficult. However, I still need to ask for her opinion. After all, she's Xiao Ye's Beast Girl, and we must show her the proper attitude." Nangong Xiao muttered, "It would be great if I could just beat her up if she didn't agree." Cheng Bingxi flicked Nangong Xiao on the forehead, and Nangong Xiao cried out, clutching her head and complaining, "Sister Bingxi, why did you hit me?" Cheng Bingxi adopted the air of a matriarch, sternly reprimanding her, "You can't treat Kingsu like that. If you beat her up, Xiao Ye might beat you up too. Tell me, is it you who hurt her more, or Xiao Ye who hurt you more?" Nangong Xiao clung to Cheng Bingxi's arm, shaking it and pouting, "I was just joking. Don't take it seriously. I didn't really want to hit Zuir." Cheng Bingxi's pretty face finally returned to a smile. Yunbing asked, "Does anyone have any brilliant ideas to get her to agree to form a contract with Xiao Ye?" Xiao Ye, Cheng Bingxi, and Nangong Xiao went to Jinling Base City yesterday and today, and Liu Yao had been in contact with Nangong Xiao the most. Liu thought for a moment, her beautiful eyes lighting up, and said, "Zuir has a problem she's very concerned about but can't solve. If Sister Yunbing can help her solve it, I think she'll agree to your relationship with Xiao Ye." Yunbing's pretty face lit up. "What problem?" Cheng Bingxi and Nangong Xiao looked curious. Liu Ya's expression was a little strange, and she said, "She's very concerned about her figure, especially her flat chest. These past 2 days she's been obsessed with eating papaya, eating several hundred pounds in just 2 days, desperately trying to develop. But she's already an adult, her figure is already set, even if she eats a lot of papaya, it won't work." The three people beside Yunbing were surprised to hear this. It was actually this problem. Cheng Bingxi looked down and could see the toes but not the insteps. She was only slightly better than Mu Kingsu, but she didn't care because her advantage was her exceptionally long legs. "Kingsu's figure seems a bit average," she nodded. Yunbing found it strange. Being average isn't a bad thing. This is the cruel era of beast girls, not the peaceful era of looks. As long as you can cultivate and become stronger, that's enough. Why is she so concerned about her figure? Liu Ya's lips twitched. "Because Xiao Ye cares." Yunbing, Cheng Bingxi and Nangong Xiao also fell silent. Liu asked, "Sister Yunbing, you have a high level of knowledge and experience. Do you know any way to solve this problem?" Yunbing frowned. She had never paid attention to this kind of question before. The reason her own figure was so hot was because of good genes and natural growth and development, without relying on external forces. "I don't have any good ideas either, but someone should be able to solve this. I'll go visit the various medical families in Jinling City. You all wait for my good news at home." Yunbing spread her hands and tore open a special rift in the living room, then plunged into it and disappeared. Nangong Xiao patted her stomach and laughed, "Don't worry, everyone. Medical families will definitely have a way to solve this kind of small problem. Not to mention this kind of small problem, even if our bodies were shattered, we could reconstruct a perfect body. Let's go back to wash up and go to sleep. We've been exhausted from the trials in the Bronze Palace all day, so we need a beauty sleep tonight." Cheng Bingxi and Liu Ye agreed. How could a small problem like body shape be difficult for medical families? Meanwhile, at Villa number 10 in the Sanzi Lakeview Villa District, Xiao Ye and Mu Kingsu returned. As soon as they entered the villa and were still in the living room, Mu Kingsu eagerly hugged him, whispering, "Don't move, let me hold you properly." Xiao Ye felt somewhat guilty. "I'm sorry, I didn't obtain the emperor-level inheritance." Mu Kingsu said, "It's alright, you can't force those things. Xiao Ye knew what she needed, and took out a supreme-level body to rebuild the treasure, hesitatingly saying, I didn't get the emperor-level inheritance, but I have a way to help you develop. What way? She asked excitedly. Xiao Ye took a step back, clenched his right fist, and his aura exploded, saying, I'll first destroy you, and then use this treasure to rebuild your body. Chapter 278 Yunbing, Bite Your Lip. Xiao Ye glanced at the flat-chested woman, whose shirt was upside down, making it impossible to tell which side was front or back. He clenched his fist, ready to punch it with all his might. With that kind of force, he could definitely shatter it in one blow. After shattering it, he would use the body-reshaping treasure to rebuild a perfect body. Seeing that he seemed serious, Mu Qingsu hurriedly retreated more than 10 steps, hugging herself tightly, and said irritably, No, absolutely not. What kind of evil trick is this? What kind of twisted thinking is this? How can you do it like this? Besides, such a precious body-reshaping treasure is meant for critical moments, for limb regeneration, for internal organs to regrow after being pierced. Why would I use it on something like this? Body reshaping doesn't necessarily reshape the entire body, it can reshape a single body part, or multiple body parts. As long as it's on a single person, no matter how many parts there are, it can be reshaped. Xiao Ye withdrew his force and put away the body reshaping treasure. Fine, if you don't want to, then forget it. Using it for such a small problem was indeed a waste of a treasure. Mu Qingsu breathed a sigh of relief. Even though her desire to change the airport was very strong, she didn't need to resort to such self-harming methods to achieve her goal. Besides, how painful would it be if it really exploded? Xiao Ye stared at the flat grassland and fell silent. After a long while, he said, Why don't we just ignore it? Whether it's a peak or a grassland, it's still you. You've been through the past 20 years, why are you so concerned now? Mu Qingsu snorted, Isn't it because someone has been mocking me and laughing at me? Xiao Ye was a little embarrassed and chuckled, That was before, things are different now. Hearing this, Mu Qingsu became a little angry. You don't cherish it after you get it, huh? You're tired of playing with it, huh? I really misjudged you. HMPH. She took out a large bucket and gave Xiao Ye a look, signaling him to put something in it. Looking at the large bucket, Xiao Ye felt a sense of déjà vu. Suddenly, something dawned on him, and his scalp tingled. He exclaimed in surprise, You're not going to make me bleed, are you? Are you trying to drain me dry with such a huge bucket? It wouldn't even fill 100 liters. Mu Qingsu narrowed her eyes. Just tell me, are you going to bleed me or not? Xiao Ye shook his head violently. No, I'd rather die than bleed you. Disappointment and loneliness appeared in Mu Qingsu's beautiful eyes. You can bleed the dean, why won't you bleed me? Xiao Ye frowned, somewhat impatiently. The situations are different. Do you want to become a blood-drinking maniac? Even if you do, I won't let you have your way. 1 cup a week is already an exception, and you want me to fill such a huge bucket? Do you want to soak in it and take a bath? Seeing his extremely impatient appearance and his scolding, disdainful, and lecturing tone, Mu Qingsu felt very wronged. Her eyes reddened, and tears welled up. Tears welled up in her eyes, threatening to spill, but she forcefully held them back. She stubbornly retorted, Xiao Ye, you said you'd completely accept me, completely acknowledge me. You were just saying it, you're hypocritical. You still despise me deep down. She snorted coldly, her face expressionless as she walked upstairs, disappearing at the top of the stairs. I don't want to talk to you. Xiao Ye was bewildered, scratching his head, What the hell? When did I despise you? I don't want my beast girl to become a blood-drinking monster. Besides, this blood isn't from a demonic beast, it's human blood. Sister Yangxi is for cultivation, breaking through the quasi-saint barrier to enter the saint realm. The two things are different. Fine, if she doesn't want to talk to me, let her calm down. She'll talk to me eventually. Then, he crossed his legs and lay down on the sofa for a nap. On the 3rd floor, Mu Qingsu stood angrily at the bedroom door, waiting for him to come and coax her, but after 5 minutes, 10 minutes passed, and not a single feather appeared. She finally couldn't hold back any more, her eyes reddened, and 2 tears slid down her cheeks. HMPH, he really doesn't care about me. Downstairs, Cheng Bingxi and the other 2 women returned. Cheng Bingxi crossed her arms, her gaze scrutinizing them. Xiao Ye, tell me. How far have you and Sister Yunbing gone? Did you take advantage of our inattention and already seduce her, doing everything? Xiao's beautiful eyes narrowed, her gaze turning dangerous. If Xiao Ye really had done everything, then it was no different from adultery, which was fundamentally different from doing anything after forming a contract. Xiao Ye, unconcerned. Her template still has a problem, she can't have intimate interactions with others. What do you think I can do? Xiao recalled her own experience before the template issue was fixed, when she and Xiao Ye also couldn't have intimate relationships. Her tense heart immediately relaxed. Oh, it seems you and Xiao Bing are limited to holding hands and hugging. Cheng Bingxi and Liu Yat also felt relieved and asked, when are you planning to form a contract with Sister Yunbing? We should choose a good day and time, with family and friends to witness it, instead of forming a contract haphazardly without any outsiders knowing. Xiao Ye pondered for a moment. It depends on whether Yunbing can gain Zuir's approval. As for me, I can form a contract anytime, right now. Right now? Then let's form a contract now. A pleasant, mature voice filled with surprise and joy came from behind everyone. Everyone turned around and saw Yunbing, dressed in a leather jacket, leather pants, and sexy black stockings that perfectly accentuated her hot figure, appearing in the living room. Xiao excitedly rushed over, her pretty face beaming, and asked, Xiao Bing, have you found a way? Yunbing stroked her twin-tailed head and replied, I have, but it's too late now. Tomorrow morning I will go to Jinling City to pick up a medical expert to come in person and help King Su improve the airport problem. Xiao was very happy. Xiao Ye stepped forward, pulled Xiao aside, and said to Yunbing, Sister Yunbing, it seems you've worked very hard to form a contract with me. You even went to Jinling City, tens of thousands of kilometers away, to find a medical expert. Should I give you some rewards? Yunbing's beautiful eyes lit up, and she leaned closer to him with her sexy waist. Looking at his handsome face, she swallowed and said, although I really want to form a contract with you now, King Su hasn't agreed yet. It's not too late for me to form a contract with you tomorrow. But as for the reward. She chuckled and pulled Xiao Ye into the small courtyard. At this moment, the bright moon was in the sky, and the stars were twinkling. The soft moonlight shone down, like a screen bathing the two of them. Xiao Ye laughed, there are only the two of us here. Tell me, what reward does Sister Yunbing want? Yunbing licked her rosy lips and hesitated before saying, I want you to fix the template for me, and also, bite my lip. At this moment, Cheng Bingxi, Xiao, and Liu were sticking their butts out, peeking through the window. Let me see what they were saying. Hey, move over there a little, I can't see. It's all because you're too big, you can't even fit in this small window. Okay, stop arguing, we can't hear you. Just as the three were sneakily peeking, a girl with snow-white, translucent black hair came down the stairs behind them. She ran over, puzzled, wanting to see what the three strangely behaving characters were doing. She discovered they were peeping. King Su, curious, ran to the door and peeked out to see what was happening outside. What she saw stunned her. In the courtyard, under the moonlight, Yunbing pushed Xiao Ye against the wall. To Xiao Ye's horror, she pouted and leaned in. The cool, soft touch made Xiao Ye's eyes widen. This feeling was completely different from the others, a unique sensation. Because this was Yunbing, the Kunpeng Supreme. 10 minutes passed, and Xiao Ye, feeling breathless, finally let go. Wiping away the moisture from her lips, Yunbing said with satisfaction, finally got a kiss, making up for the regret of the past. Xiao Ye, now help me repair the template. She took out 2 special rule fragments that she had almost paid with her life for. At this moment, a figure rushed over like an angry little lion, fists clenched, saying angrily, Weisstein, how could you do this? This is someone else's contractor. Xiao Ye, what are you standing there for? Come inside with me. King Su forcefully pulled Xiao Ye, pushed Yunbing aside, dragged him into the house, and then slammed the door shut. Cheng Bingxi, Xiao, and Liu Ya thought to themselves, oh no, this is bad. We're doomed. Chapter 279 Medical Master. 100% confidence. Yunbing's career has failed before it even began. The medical expert hasn't even arrived, and she's already being disliked. The three of them didn't seem to mind, since Yunbing had already obtained their consent, but King Su was different. She wasn't familiar with either of them, having only met them a few times. Mu Kingsu pulled Xiao Ye up to the third-floor bedroom, hands on her hips, and said jealously, even if the Vice-Dean likes you, he can't do that to you. I haven't even kissed you a few times. The Vice-Dean is so annoying, I really don't want to see her. In Mu Kingsu's eyes, Yunbing had acted like a wild woman, casually seducing a married man. And you got bitten on the lip, and you looked so ecstatic. Is that appropriate? I'm warning you, stay away from her in the future, don't associate with this kind of person. You already have 4 beast girls, aren't 4 beast girls enough for you to kiss? Mu Kingsu glared fiercely at Xiao Ye. Xiao Ye was a little embarrassed, scratching his head and asking awkwardly, you really dislike Yunbing that much? Mu Kingsu was in a state of jealousy and anger, and said angrily, I didn't have any feelings for her before, but after seeing what you two did just now, I really hate her. Xiao Ye's heart skipped a beat. Really hate her? Mu Kingsu took a tissue and wiped Xiao Ye's mouth, handed him a bottle of mineral water, and said angrily, quickly rinse your mouth and spit out that person's saliva. Xiao Ye unscrewed the cap, rinsed his mouth, and swallowed all the water under her shocked gaze. I was a little thirsty, this bottle of mineral water came just in time. Mu Kingsu's eyes widened, and she pointed at him with a trembling finger. You actually swallowed it. Xiao Ye shrugged, unconcerned, so what if I swallowed it? It's not poison, can't I drink it? Mu Kingsu's flat chest heaved with anger, a fire rising from her heart to her head. She was furious, saying, you don't even think there's a problem? No, you did it on purpose, you just wanted to annoy me, didn't you? You still want to play with me like before, to care about me. HMPH, I want to go back to the city lord's mansion, I want to, As she spoke, her eyes suddenly widened, and she couldn't speak anymore. Because her mouth was covered by Xiao Ye's mouth. Mu Kingsu's pretty face flushed red, but she didn't push Xiao Ye away, awkwardly responding and cooperating. 10 minutes later, she collapsed into Xiao Ye's arms, feeling completely powerless, a hint of joy appearing on her face buried in his chest. Xiao Ye then spoke up, do you still want to go back to the city lord's mansion? She shook her head, no, I'm not going back. Xiao Ye smiled, then bring me some mineral water, I need to rinse my mouth. Mu Kingsu obediently did as she was told. In front of her, Xiao Ye swallowed the mouthwash. Ugh! Mu Kingsu's pretty face flushed red, thinking to herself, he actually dislikes me, I misunderstood him. In the living room on the first floor, Nangguang Xiao was pacing anxiously, what should I do? What should I do? Xiaobing, you're doomed. Zuyer's gaze at you is so annoying. Do you think you can still get her approval and recognition? Yunbing frowned, blaming herself, I was too eager, too hasty, and ruined everything. Leah, who knew Mu Kingsu better, thought for a moment and said, you don't need to be so anxious. Annoying is just a momentary outburst of emotion. Once the anger subsides, things might change. Besides, you don't know how much Kingsu cares about her figure. It's less about her figure than about Xiao Ye, but more about everything else. Yunbing's beautiful eyes lit up, so, I still have a chance? Leah nodded, then shook her head, I'm not entirely sure either. After all, we haven't known each other for very long. We'll see tomorrow. Whether she agrees or not, we'll see tomorrow. Cheng Bingxi made the decision, then let's leave it at that. It's getting late. Everyone should go back and rest. Sister Yunbing, please bring a medical expert tomorrow. We'll help you. Yunbing nodded, gratefully saying, thank you. Tonight, Xiao Ye was all alone with Mu Kingsu, and he once again experienced her madness. The night passed quickly, and the next day arrived precisely on time. Early in the morning, Xiao Ye, wearing only a pair of shorts, was dragged to the first-floor living room. At this time, there were only 3 people in the living room, Yunbing, who had picked him up early that morning, Xiao Ye, who had just woken up, and a renowned medical expert. Yunbing introduced, this is a medical expert from the Hua family, a renowned medical family in Jinling City. He has a way to solve Mu Kingsu's figure problem. Xiao Ye looked at this medical expert and said incredulously, it's you? The medical expert also said incredulously, what are you doing here? This medical expert was the young male trial participant Xiao Ye had encountered in the Bronze Hall, who was infected with a zombie nerve virus. At this moment, the blackness on the young man's face had lessened somewhat, and the bulging black veins had also subsided, but the symptoms were still visible. Yunbing asked, puzzled, you two know each other? Xiao Ye's lips twitched. I've met him, but I don't know him personally. He can't even cure the zombie virus in himself. Is he really a medical expert? The young man, hearing his medical skills being questioned, retorted, the neurotoxin is a rare virus from ancient times. You don't know how difficult it is to cure. It was only after my ancestor intervened that we received some relief. Compared to that, the body shape problem is nothing. The two are not even on the same level. Yun Bing introduced, this is Xiao Ye, the contractor of that flat-chested girl. This is Hu Hong, the young master of the Hu family, the oldest existing medical family in Jinling City. Xiao Ye suddenly understood, abandoning his contempt, and politely said, hello, young master Hu. May I ask how to solve my Zuir's body shape problem? The young man, Hu Hong, had been invited by the Kunpeng Supreme, and with Yun Bing watching, he didn't act arrogantly, smiling. I will solve this in 2 steps. First, I will give him a medicinal soup made with various herbs according to my Hu family's secret recipe. Second, I will use an ancient massage technique that the Hu family keeps secret to massage his whole body to improve blood circulation and stimulate his potential. With these 2 steps combined, I am 100% confident that I can solve your contractor's body problem. Yun Bing smiled, then let's do it your way. The young master of the Hu family nodded, leave it to me. But Xiao Ye spoke up at this moment, no, you have 2 steps, and I won't accept one of them. The second step, massaging the whole body, I won't allow it. Not even a touch? Yun Bing's smile froze. Hu Hong, the young master of the Hu family, twitched his lips and explained. Please rest assured, I'm not taking advantage of you, nor do I have any intention of doing so. I'm massaging you purely from the doctor's perspective. Xiao Ye's refusal was strong. That won't work either. No matter what angle you use, it won't work unless you bring a female medical expert. Hu Hong's face stiffened, and he said helplessly, our Hu family's core secret technique is passed down only to men, not women. Women in the Hu family generally don't practice medicine, they only manage the family's affairs. The Hu family is practiced by men. Besides, this is the only way I can guarantee a 100% solution to the body shape problem. There are no other good methods. Kunpeng Supreme, if the patient's family doesn't accept this, I can't do anything more. Please send me back. Yun Bing sighed, that's all we can do. She tore open a special rift, intending to take Hu Hong back to Jinling City. At this moment, Xiao Ye spoke up, wait. I have a way to solve your body shape problem without you touching King Su. Chapter 280 You can't touch it, but I can. Yun Bing and Hu Hong paused, turning back with puzzled expressions. What method? Yun Bing asked. Xiao Ye calmly replied, young master Hu, you can't touch my contractor, but I can. Hu Hong understood, frowning, you mean, you do it? Xiao Ye snapped his fingers and smiled, that's right. Teach me your ancient secret massage technique, and I'll do the massage. Young master Hu only needs to brew the medicinal soup. Yun Bing's beautiful eyes lit up. That's right. Why hadn't she thought of this method? Xiao Ye already possessed extremely profound massage skills, capable of not only resolving physical defects but also template problems. Learning an ancient secret massage technique was certainly easier than resolving template defects. Hu Hong's forehead creased with annoyance, and he shook his head violently. No way. This ancient secret technique is a closely guarded secret of my Hu family. Besides, even if I taught you, without a foundation in medicine and without medical aptitude, you wouldn't be able to learn it. Xiao Ye smiled and offered a condition, a supreme-level antidote treasure. It should be able to perfectly and quickly resolve the zombie neurovirus in you and your contractor. How about it? I'll exchange it for that ancient massage technique. Xiao Ye took out a red glowing stone from his system space, which he had obtained from the bronze hall. A supreme-level antidote treasure. Hu Hong swallowed hard, instinctively wanting to agree. Exchanging an ancient secret technique for such a treasure was a bargain for him. But when he remembered the family rules, he suppressed his desire and shook his head bitterly, saying, no, the reason my Hu family has been able to stand on Blue Star for thousands of years and be known as the oldest surviving medical family is because of these ancient secret techniques. So, I'm sorry. He was the young master of the Hu family, the future heir to the family headship, he couldn't break his own family rules. Xiao Ye's face darkened. Yun Bing. Yun Bing clenched her fists, cracking her bones, her eyes narrowed with a dangerous glint in them, And she said in a sinister tone, "If you don't tell, and I don't tell, who'll know you've passed on the family's secret technique? Just tell me, will you pass it on or not?" Her fiery temper led her to impatiently grab Hua Hong by the collar, coldly snorting, "Don't be so shameless. A supreme-level antidote treasure is enough to exchange for 2 of your ancient secret techniques. You won't even trade one. Hurry up and agree, or you're not leaving." This. Hua Hong panicked a little. "No, Kunpeng Supreme, these things require mutual consent. How can you force me?" Yunbing didn't care about that. Her eyes narrowed, and she said, "Teach me quickly. My patience is limited. Even if I beat you up, your Hua family can't do anything to me." Xiao Ye patted his shoulder and laughed. "There are only the 3 of us here. If no one says anything, no one will know you've passed on the family's secret technique. Why are you so persistent? A supreme-level treasure, aren't you tempted?" Xiao Ye held up the antidote treasure and waved it in front of him. Gulp. Hua Hong swallowed hard, his eyes filled with longing. After a few seconds of hesitation, he whispered, "Trade? I'll trade with you. But I can't give you the ancient secret method sample. I'll teach you personally, but only once. If you can't learn it, it's none of my business." Xiao Ye smiled. "All right, Sister Yunbing. Put him down." Yunbing hesitated. "Only once? Can you learn it?" Xiao Ye pinched Yunbing's delicate cheek and said, "Trust me." Seeing their ambiguous actions, Hua Hong's eyes widened, his heart skipped a beat. Something was going on. If I couldn't teach this Xiao Ye, would the Kunpeng Supreme still let me go? Definitely not. Then he'd get a beating. Hua Hong took out a rare, secret manual from his stored ring and tossed it to Xiao Ye, saying, "This is an ancient, secret manual of a massage technique to activate the body's potential. I brought it along to treat a patient, to avoid any oversights during the treatment. Just learn from the manual. If you don't understand anything, come and ask me. Kunpeng Supreme, I need 4 rare and precious medicinal herbs, the 3rd root of a 1,000-year-old ginseng, the tip of lava straw, the 10,000-year-old ice that nurtures the Xianshan snow lotus, and the tooth powder from the incisors of a demonic whale from the Pacific Ocean seabed. Also, there are 8 common herbs, foxtail grass, the heart of the mother papaya, all 12 are needed for making the medicinal soup." Xiao Ye waved his hand. "Sister Yunbing, it's time for you to work hard. Go ahead, I'll handle things here. This guy can't beat me, and he can't escape even if he wants to." Yunbing rolled her eyes at him. "Then I'm going. You must learn this massage technique, or I won't forgive you." With a flash of white light, her figure disappeared. Hua Hong's face darkened. He thought to himself, "Even if I can't beat you, you don't have to bring this up. Besides, I wasn't planning on running away. The patient isn't even cured yet, why would I run?" As a physician from a legitimate family of traditional doctors, he wouldn't stoop to running away. Xiao Ye held the rare book, turning the pages one by one. As he read, his brows furrowed. Hua Hong shook his head and said, "Secret techniques are inherently difficult to learn, let alone ancient ones. If you can't even understand a rare book, you won't learn it even if I teach you. Back then, even with a basic understanding of medicine, it took me half a year to grasp the basics." Xiao Ye laughed, his brows completely relaxing, and said, "No, I didn't say I couldn't understand it. On the contrary, this secret technique is very simple, extremely simple." Hua Hong's lips twitched, completely disbelieving. "There are only the 2 of us here, you don't need to be stubborn, I won't laugh at you." Xiao Ye wasn't lying. The massage technique for resolving physical defects was provided by the Cosmic Origin Level Template Adjuster. Physical defects caused by template problems are something no one on this blue star can solve, but the massage technique provided by the Template Adjuster can. This alone demonstrates the brilliance and complexity of the physical defect massage technique. This ancient secret massage technique that activates human potential is nothing compared to the physical defect massage technique caused by template problems. They are not even on the same level. Xiao Ye understood it after reading it once, and he learned it. This was like a top university student learning elementary school material, completely effortless, he could learn it at a glance. Xiao Ye tossed the rare book and the antidote treasure to Hua Hong one after the other, laughing. "Put them away, I've learned it." Hua Hong's lips twitched, speechless as he put away the rare book, thinking to himself, "You've completely failed." He took the supreme-level antidote treasure from Xiao Ye's hand, put it away, and said warily, "You said you learned it yourself, Don't blame me if you can't cure the patient. Xiao Ye nodded, saying, if you can't cure the patient, it means your secret technique is useless, and you're not leaving. Hu Hong wanted to vomit blood. Half an hour later, Yun Bing returned carrying a large box. Chapter 281 The medicinal soup is ready. Hu Hong was quite surprised. They found the medicinal herbs so quickly? With a clatter, Yun Bing placed the heavy box on the ground. Opening it, a rich aroma of medicinal herbs wafted out, filling the entire living room. Hu Hong sniffed, exclaiming in shock, it smells like 1,000-year-old ginseng, a demonic whale, Tian Shan snow lotus, and magma. He and Xiao Ye looked inside the box. Sure enough, it was filled to the brim with medicinal herbs, all 12 kinds needed for making the medicinal soup. Hu Hong gave a thumbs up, praising, as expected of the Kunpeng Supreme, you bought such precious herbs so quickly. Those 4 precious herbs were equivalent to 4 supreme-level herbs, although not as rare as treasures, they were still extremely difficult to harvest and collect. Yun Bing said calmly, having lived for 1,500 years, it would be too embarrassing if I couldn't even find something like this. Xiao Ye, have you learned the massage technique? Xiao Ye replied that he had. Hu Hong scoffed, you've failed miserably. Yun Bing sprawled on the sofa, kicked off her shoes, and placed her delicate feet, clad in sexy stockings, in Xiao Ye's lap. She said languidly, my feet are sore, massage them for me. Xiao Ye naturally reached out and tore 2 holes in her stockings, revealing her translucent feet. Then he began massaging her feet, even smelling his hands to make sure they weren't infected with athlete's foot before continuing. Hu Hong's eyes widened. These two were definitely having an affair, even their actions were so intimate. He glanced at Yun Bing's stunningly beautiful face and sexy, fiery body, and swallowed hard. I'll go make the medicinal soup. Hu Hong only glanced at her before quickly grabbing the box and heading into the kitchen. A stunningly beautiful, powerful, and well-built mature woman like Yun Bing was the dream goddess of every hot-blooded young man. Who wouldn't want to kiss her? Hu Hong sighed. Even as the young master of the Hu family, a powerful being like Yun Bing was beyond his reach, especially since he already had a legally married contracted beast girl. He then cleared his mind of distractions, took out his own herbal decoction equipment, and began peeling the herbs, placing them into the equipment in order. After starting the equipment, he used a special technique to tap it, concentrating his mental energy and constantly monitoring the herbs and the decoction. He needed to stay by his side throughout the process, combining ancient decoction techniques to perfectly extract the medicinal properties of the precious herbs and integrate them into the decoction. Each herb had different properties, and he also needed to use a secret method to harmonize these properties, ensuring they were proportionally integrated into the decoction, before finally producing a good decoction. In the living room, Yun Bing hooked her fair, delicate feet around Xiao Ye's hands, rolled her beautiful eyes, and said, "You've torn my socks, what am I supposed to wear?" Xiao Ye freed himself, took off the 2 stockings, put them in his pocket, and said, "They're torn, so don't wear them today." At the supreme level, the impurities in his body were negligible, and he exuded a delicate fragrance. The stockings had no odor whatsoever. Yun Bing watched him put away her stockings and grinned mischievously. "You actually stole my personal items. You'd better not use them for anything bad. Of course, if you want to do something, I won't stop you. Besides, I have a lot more stockings, Xiao Ye's face darkened, and he covered her mouth with his hand, saying, "What kind of lewd talk is that? Do you think I'm that kind of person?" Yun Bing's eyes widened, and she hurriedly pushed his hand away. "Pa. Take it off. You've been touching my feet and now you're covering my mouth. Do you want me to taste my own feet?" Xiao Ye chuckled, "You can eat pig's trotters, and you can eat duck feet. Your jade feet are much more fragrant than pig's trotters and duck feet, so why can't you eat them?" Yun Bing internally cursed, how can they be the same? Wait. She seemed to have overlooked something, and said with a smug grin, "You really think it's more fragrant than pig's trotters and duck feet?" Xiao Ye nodded. Yun Bing lifted her foot and kicked Xiao Ye's face, saying, "I don't believe you unless you lick it so I can see." In Xiao Ye's vision, the jade-like foot grew larger and larger. Just then, a scream came from the stairwell. "What are you doing?" It was Chang Bingxi and the other 2 women bringing Mu Qingsu down. Seeing the 2's intimate actions, Mu Qingsu pouted angrily, like a lioness whose tail had been touched. In a flash, Yun Bing and Xiao Ye separated, sitting far apart on the sofa. Xiao Ye looked somewhat embarrassed and relieved. He almost licked her foot, but he didn't actually do it. If someone had seen him licking his foot, he would have been in deep trouble. Mu Qingsu was truly enraged this time. Hands on her hips, she walked up to Yunbing and said disapprovingly, "You're the vice dean, we respect you, but you can't treat Xiao Ye like that, it's disgusting." Cheng Bingxi and the other two quickly stepped between them. Nangguang Xiao said, "Qingsu, calm down, let's go upstairs." "Right, we have a surprise for you later." Liu transmitted her voice, "Xiao Ye, Sister Yunbing, you haven't signed a contract yet, please don't be so presumptuous." Xiao Ye replied telepathically, "So, once we sign a contract, I can be as presumptuous as I want, huh?" Liu rolled her eyes at him and didn't reply. The three women led Mu Qingsu upstairs again. Yunbing, her face expressionless and her mood somewhat somber, frowned anxiously and said, "This beast girl's perception of me has worsened. After curing her flat chest, will she really change her feelings towards me, accept me, and acknowledge me?" Xiao Ye wasn't sure either. I don't know. We'll see. If the treatment is effective, maybe she won't be angry anymore, and she won't dislike you anymore. That would be best." Yunbing lost her playful mood, put on her shoes, and stood up. "Let's go see how that guy's medicinal soup is going." She gracefully walked towards the kitchen, and Xiao Ye followed. In the kitchen, a specially made steaming machine, about half a person's height, stood upright like an oval egg. Hu Hong was staring at it intently, occasionally tapping it. Beside it was the large box, the total amount of medicinal herbs inside not decreasing much. The two stood at the doorway, quietly watching, not intending to disturb Hu Hong's steaming of the medicinal soup. Professional matters should be handled by professionals to ensure efficiency. 10 minutes later, Hu Hong slammed his palm on the instrument, which began to hum, and the dregs of the medicine poured out from the channel at the bottom. He found a small bowl and a small spoon in the kitchen, and with a flick of his wrist, the instrument's lid opened. The medicinal soup inside was drawn out like a jet of water, forming a parabola before landing in the small bowl. All the medicinal soup had been drawn out, just enough to fill the small bowl. Hu Hong steadily placed the bowl on the counter and smiled, "Mission accomplished. Kunpeng Supreme, Mr. Xiao, as long as the patient drinks this bowl of medicinal soup, combined with the ancient secret massage technique, it will 100% cure the symptoms of a flat chest." Chapter 282 Gaining Mu Qingsu's approval. Yunbing and Xiao Ye were overjoyed, it was finally done, and the treatment could begin. Yunbing held the small bowl in her hands and handed it to Xiao Ye, saying, "Quickly take this up to Mu Qingsu and have her drink it. Then you can use the ancient secret method to massage her." Xiao Ye hesitated, "This is all thanks to you, it would be better if you took it up yourself." Yunbing shook her head, "She probably doesn't want to see me right now." "All right." Xiao Ye took the steaming bowl, turned, and left the kitchen, heading up the stairs. Hu Hong said, "I hope Mr. Xiao succeeds." He already considered Xiao Ye as the companion of the Kunpeng Supreme, unconsciously addressing him with a respectful title. Yunbing gripped the hem of her clothes, becoming somewhat nervous. In the bedroom on the third floor, Mu Qingsu complained, "That jerk is really something, he didn't even try to comfort me when I was angry." She took a big bite of the red apple, imagining it was Xiao Ye, and bit into it forcefully. "HMPH, tonight, I'm going to bite him to death like this." At this moment, Xiao Ye was pushed in by Cheng Bingxi and the other two women outside the door, leaving him and Mu Qingsu alone in the room, and the door was closed. "You bastard, I don't need your coaxing. What are you doing here?" Mu Qingsu turned her face away, refusing to look at him. Xiao Ye snatched her red apple, opened his mouth and took a bite from where she had bitten it. The sweet taste filled his mouth, and he laughed, "Drink this." Looking at the apple, Mu Qingsu's pretty face flushed, and she said, "That's an apple I ate, how could you just eat it? And what's this?" She took the small bowl full of medicinal fragrance, her beautiful eyes curiously glancing at it. Xiao Ye pouted, "What's wrong with eating an apple? I've already gnawed on you. Drink it quickly, you'll know what it is after you drink it." Mu Qingsu glared at him, thinking what kind of wild words he was using were so embarrassing. Then, she tilted her head back, ready to drink the medicine. Xiao Ye interrupted, "Wait. This soup is too hot, let me cool it down." 5 elements control, water element control. He directly manipulated the water molecules in the medicinal soup, lowering its temperature to 40 degrees Celsius. So thoughtful. Mu Qingsu felt warm inside and was very happy, gulping down the medicinal soup. Xiao Ye moved the small bowl away and asked, "How do you feel?" Mu Qingsu sensed herself, her body and expression slightly awkward, and said, "So hot." "Hot? That's good." Xiao Ye put on his massage gloves and said, "Take them off." "Take them all off." Mu Qingsu's eyes widened in disbelief. "Xiao Ye, it's still daytime, what are you planning to do?" Xiao Ye shook his head, "Nothing." Rip. He directly tore open her clothes, revealing a pale, white body. A few seconds later, Mu Qingsu, completely naked, blushed and shyly said, "Then hurry up and be gentle." Xiao Ye was surprised. "I'm just giving you a massage, what are you thinking? Massage? Ugh." Mu Qingsu wanted to disappear into the ground, it was too embarrassing. "Don't move, don't cover your face," Xiao Ye called out. Next, he used an ancient secret massage technique. He was a little clumsy at first, but with his massage foundation, he quickly became proficient. He focused on the key areas. An hour later. Done. Xiao Ye clapped his hands and walked out of the bedroom. The three women who were waiting outside the door rushed over and asked, "How is Weir? Did it work? Did it improve your figure?" Xiao Ye replied, "It should, although I didn't feel it. She went to take a shower, we'll know when she comes out." The three women pulled Xiao Ye into the bedroom. Each bedroom here had a bathroom. The sound of running water came from inside, and the bathroom door was not closed. "Xiao Ye, she left the door open for you." Nangguang winked. Then, the three girls peeked inside. Due to the limited space, Xiao Ye was pushed aside and couldn't see anything. Mu Qingsu heard the noise at the door and assumed it was Xiao Ye looking inside. She felt a little smug, that bastard still cared about her. But as she listened, she sensed something was wrong. She glanced outside and was immediately shocked. It was Chang Bingxi, Nangguang and Liu Yang. No Xiao Ye. Her face flushed red, and she quickly finished washing up and getting dressed. She wasn't sure if it was just her imagination, but her top felt a little tight, constricting her body. But she didn't care at that moment and rushed out, hands on her hips, saying, "Oh, you guys were peeking at me. Be careful, I'll tell Xiao Ye and he'll beat you up." Xiao Ye and the other two girls walked up behind her, a half smile on their faces, and asked, "Who do you think you're going to beat up?" Mu Qingsu was stunned, that bastard was actually there. Nangguang rushed over, laughing, "Qingsu, how are you feeling? Any improvement?" Mu Qingsu looked puzzled, "Improved what?" Nangguang bluntly said, "You're flat-chested." Mu Qingsu blushed, a little embarrassed, and scratched her head. "Ah. Well, I've eaten a lot of papaya, but it didn't work." Liu Ya spoke up, "It wasn't papaya, it was the herbal soup and massage, did they work?" Mu Qingsu was dumbfounded. The herbal soup and Xiao Ye's massage were for body shape issues? She felt her top was a little tight, twisted around and suddenly realized, her face lighting up with joy, "No wonder my top felt a little tight, maybe my figure has improved." Xiao Ye immediately checked, and after a while, frowned, "It seems to have grown a little, but it's not obvious." Nangguang rolled her eyes, "You can't measure anything with your hands, you can't find anything, you get out, we women will check." Xiao Ye was pushed out of the bedroom. A few minutes later, Mu Qingsu ran out happily and threw herself into his arms, exclaiming joyfully, "Thank you, Xiao Ye. I appreciate your kindness, I'm very grateful. The effects of the herbal medicine and massage are remarkable. Just once a day, in less than half a month, I'll be like Sister Bingxi. If I continue drinking the medicine and getting massages year after year, there's a chance I can grow up to be like the dean." Xiao Ye could feel her happiness. But he shook his head, looking directly into Mu Qingsu's eyes, and said, "All of this wasn't prepared for you. You shouldn't thank me." Mu Qingsu was bewildered, "Not you? Then who is it?" Nangguang skipped over, pulling Mu Qingsu downstairs, "Come with us." First floor. Yunbing and Hu Hong sat nervously on the sofa, waiting. Hu Hong worried that Xiao Ye hadn't learned the massage technique, and the patient wouldn't benefit much from just drinking the herbal medicine. Yunbing worried that Mu Qingsu wouldn't accept her, and she wouldn't be able to form a contract with Xiao Ye. At this moment, at the stairwell, the four women, including Mu Qingsu, and Xiao Ye came into view. The two women stood up. Nangguang pulled Mu Qingsu to Yunbing and smiled. The medical expert was brought back from Jinling City by Xiaobing after traveling tens of thousands of kilometers. The herbal medicine and massage you received were both from this expert. All of this was done by Xiao Bing. Mu Qingsu looked at Xiao Ye, who nodded. After confirming this, Mu Qingsu's eyes were filled with complex emotions, gratitude, dissatisfaction, and more, as she looked at Yun Bing. After a few seconds, she bowed and said, "Sister Yun Bing, thank you." Chapter 283, Agreed, Fix the Yun Bing Template. At this moment, Mu Qingsu no longer found Yun Bing annoying, and her feelings towards her improved. Xiao Ye flicked her forehead. She went to so much trouble, and a simple thank you is all you want? If she hadn't found a medical expert in Jingling City, you'd probably be eating papaya your whole life and still not be able to improve your problem. Mu Qingsu realized what she meant and happily said, "Sister Yun Bing, if there's anything you need my help with, just say so, and I'll definitely help." Nangguang Xiao gave Yun Bing a look, thinking to herself, "Make your request, hurry up and make it." Cheng Bingxi and Liu Ya smiled. Yun Bing seized the opportunity and solemnly said, "I want to form a contract with Xiao Ye, and I hope you can agree." Mu Qingsu was stunned. "Huh? Are you serious?" Yun Bing's tone was firm. "I'm serious." "Well." Mu Qingsu frowned, caught in a dilemma. No one spoke. Yun Bing explained, "I wasn't just playing around. Xiao Ye is the first man in my life who has ever made my heart flutter. Going to the chaotic space to obtain fragments of special rules was also to be able to forge a contract. I want to be like you, to walk down the aisle with Xiao Ye and grow old together." Mu Qingsu's body trembled, and she said incredulously, "You almost lost your life in the chaotic space, all for this." "Yes, it's not easy to fall in love. If we can be together, what does it matter if it costs me my life?" Yun Bing said. Mu Qingsu was moved, realizing that Yun Bing was actually a devoted woman. Mu Qingsu felt she couldn't match Yun Bing's devotion, a devotion that transcended even the risk of death. Perhaps feeling that she had done her a great favor, Mu Qingsu whispered, "I agree to you forming a contract with Xiao Ye. But this isn't something I can decide. You need the consent of the other beast girls first. Most importantly, Xiao Ye has to agree." Yun Bing was overjoyed, her delight overflowing. "Are you willing to accept me?" Mu Qingsu nodded. "Sister Yun Bing has done so much for me, of course I'm willing to accept you." Nangguang Xiao grinned. "All right. Since everyone agrees, let's get straight to the point and form the contract?" Mu Qingsu was bewildered. "You all agree?" Cheng Bingxi nodded. "Yes, Sister Yun Bing mentioned it to us a long time ago." Liu Yang also expressed her agreement. Mu Qingsu's lips twitched. "So you all agreed, leaving me the only one unaware. By the way, where's Xiao Ye?" Xiao Ye replied, "I agreed when I was treating Sister Yun Bing, and I even asked for everyone's opinion, but no one took it seriously. Sister Yun Bing is my mentor. Of course, I'll help her if she needs it." Mu Qingsu then raised another question. "I remember a rumor that the Kunpeng Supreme, which is Sister Yun Bing's template, has a problem and can't form a contract with the opposite sex. What are you going to do? Should I ask the Mu family patriarch if he can solve the template problem?" Yun Bing smiled. "Don't worry, I already have a solution." Tearing open a special rift, she glanced at Hu Hong, who was still present, and said, "You should go back now. After you get back, brew the medicine, and I'll personally come and get it." Hu Hong was speechless. So, out of all these people, he was the only outsider? Fine, I'll go then. Hu Hong jumped into the special rift with a large box and disappeared. The special rift closed instantly. Yun Bing took out 2 special rule fragment crystals and said, "Xiao Ye, repair my template." Xiao Ye activated the template repair function of the origin level treasure, template adjuster. Buzz! A supreme power of order descended, illuminating Yun Bing and the fragment crystals. The 2 special rule fragment crystals floated in midair, emitting bursts of special fluctuations. Everyone present watched curiously. Since they were all on his side, Xiao Ye made no attempt to hide anything and let everyone see. SSS level special Kunpeng template. Problem: the type of rule fragment crystal absorbed during awakening was incorrect. It should have absorbed special rule fragments, but instead absorbed fire rule fragment crystals. Solution: use the template adjuster's function to replace the 2 fire rule fragment crystals. Repair function activated. Ag! Yun Bing floated into the air, her pretty face filled with pain, letting out a miserable scream. A fiery red color appeared on the surface of her body, turning it scorching hot and emitting thick white mist. The temperature in the living room rose sharply, as if it had turned into the interior of magma, extremely hot. Everyone grew worried, fearing something might go wrong. Xiao Ye remained calm and activated the template adjuster's repair function at maximum power. The buzzing sound amplified many times over. Whoosh! Whoosh! The temperature seemed to rise tens of thousands of degrees, but in an instant, 2 fragments of the fire rule crystallized from Yunbing's body, appearing as crystals in mid-air in the living room. These were fire rule fragment crystals. The moment the crystals appeared, the temperature in the living room shattered like a dream, plummeting back to the original cool 22 degrees Celsius. Ugh! Much better. Yunbing was no longer in pain, and the color of her body returned to its fair and rosy hue, though she was still sweating profusely, as if she had exerted herself intensely. Smiles appeared on everyone's faces, and their worries vanished. Then, 2 spatial rule fragment crystals shot out and entered Yunbing's body. Streams of profound spatial power were also swept in. Yunbing closed her eyes. After a while, template repair successful. SSS-Level Space Kunpeng template issue, resolved. Physical defects no longer exist. Xiao Ye said, "Alright, Sister Yunbing's template issue has been eradicated, and her physical defects have also been resolved in one go. There will be no more energy surges, and without the negative effects of the fire rule fragment crystal, Sister Yunbing's temper won't be so fiery anymore." Yunbing landed on the ground, opened her eyes, and felt an unprecedented comfort. The women surrounded her, looking at her with great curiosity, pinching and prodding her body to see the changes. Yunbing slapped away Mu Kingsu's small hand that was resting on her breasts, saying, "Kingsu, don't take advantage of this. Don't worry, you'll be able to do what I do in the future." Mu Kingsu blushed, quickly withdrew her hands, and said embarrassedly, "I didn't take advantage of you. By the way, now that Sister Yunbing's template issue is resolved, when do you plan to form a contract?" She changed the subject. The mischievous women also stopped their playful antics and said, "Yes, Sister Yunbing, such an important matter as concluding a contract, shouldn't we choose an auspicious day, inform all our relatives and friends, and hold a grand wedding with everyone as witnesses?" Xiao Ye also watched quietly. Yunbing pondered for a moment. Then asked Xiao Ye, "Do you want to have a grand wedding?" Xiao Ye shrugged, "That's up to you. I don't care what you say. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 284 Wedding Banquet, Preparing to Conclude the Contract. You'll have to think about it yourself. A grand wedding is like announcing to everyone that we've entered into a contract, which is equivalent to giving you a formal status, unlike a secret relationship where no one knows about it. Yunbing readily agreed, "A simple wedding will suffice. It's just Yangxi and me at home now, so we'll invite some friends for a small feast. We don't need to let too many people know about our contract, to avoid unnecessary trouble." Nangguang Xiao clapped her hands, "Let's do it that way. Many people know that Xiaobing's template has a problem and can't enter into a contract. If too many people know that Xiaobing can enter into a contract, it will indeed cause some unnecessary trouble." Yunbing nodded, "We'll enter into the contract tomorrow. I'll go hire a chef team and send out invitations first, and then set up some scenes." Mu Kingsu volunteered, "We'll handle the scene setup." Xiao Ye raised his hand, "What about me? What should I do?" Mu Kingsu rolled her eyes at him, "You just wait to enter the bridal chamber after entering into the contract." The next morning, Villa number 3 had been decorated very festively. The carpets, curtains, sheets, quilts, and all other decorations had been changed to bright red with a double happiness symbol. 3 large round tables were set up in the courtyard. Everything had been arranged yesterday, invitations had been sent out, and the culinary team was in place. At this moment, Yunbing was being dragged away by Nangguang Xiao and the others to dress up in red, while Xiao Ye yawned boredly in the courtyard. Suddenly, a spatial rift appeared outside the courtyard, and 2 figures emerged, the father and son of the Vajra Supreme, Chenggang and Cheng Yi. Seeing the guests arrive, Xiao Ye's eyes lit up, and he ran over to greet them. "Brother Cheng, please come in." Cheng Yi called out, "Uncle Xiao." Chenggang clasped his hands in a fist salute, "Brother Xiao, you're my brother Xiao. You've only been enrolled for a month, and you've already managed to get the vice dean. I admire you. Xiao Ye scratched his head, a little embarrassed. These words made it sound like he was a rebellious disciple of the jockey. It's just a coincidence, nothing more. Please sit down, Brother Chang. Cheng Gang waved his hand. Don't call me Brother Chang, just call me Brother Chang. Otherwise, if Sister Kunpeng hears this, she'll have another reason to beat me up, saying I have no manners and can't even tell the difference between elders and juniors. With Xiao Ye here, there's no need for Brother Xiao to make tea. Chang Yi, what are you waiting for? We have guests, go greet them. A special rift opened on the road outside the courtyard, and 2 more people appeared. Xiao Ye was immediately surprised and hurriedly went to greet them. It was Nangguang Xiao's parents, the city lord and his wife of Mangyeong Bay City, Nangguang Kitao and his wife. At this time, Nangguang Xiao was still in the dressing room. Nangguang Kitao looked around at his surroundings, somewhat surprised, and, this place is still the same as it was 15 years ago, not much has changed. Xiao Ye called out, father-in-law, mother-in-law. The Nangguang Kitao couple were welcomed in, and after sitting down, they looked at each other with complicated expressions. Xiao Ye, you're quite capable, you even managed to win over my teacher. Just a coincidence, Xiao Ye replied. Father-in-law, how has Mangyeong Bay City changed these past few days? Speaking of this, Nangguang Kitao became somewhat excited, stood up and bowed. Xiao Ye, I want to thank you on behalf of all the citizens of Mangyeong Bay City. With the key support of Shanghai Bay City, Mangyeong Bay City has now been upgraded to a mid-level base city. If it weren't for the insufficient level of local forces, it would have been promoted to a high-level base city by now. He released his own realm, which was already at the peak of Grandmaster. You must know that just a month ago, he was only an 8-star Grandmaster, not even at the peak of Grandmaster. Xiao Ye helped him up. No need to thank me, the one who should be thanked is the city lord of the magic capital base city. Xiao Ye, go back and visit sometime, Nangguang Kitao said with a smile. He looked around and asked in confusion, where are Xiao and Bingxi? They're inside, they'll be out soon, Xiao Ye replied. Cheng Gang walked over and said with a grin, is this Brother Xiao's father-in-law? Nangguang Kitao nodded, looked Cheng Gang over carefully, and then exclaimed in shock, greetings, Supreme Lord. Nangguang Kitao was about to bow. Cheng Gang waved his hand, and a force supported Nangguang Kitao. Today is a wedding banquet, no need for such formalities, lest we spoil everyone's enjoyment. Outside the courtyard, a number of people arrived one after another, most of whom Xiao Ye did not recognize. They were people from various top-tier base cities, as well as Supremas from the Supreme Alliance, all at least at the Great Venerable level, with 5 or 6 Supremas in total, most of them women. Ha ha ha. Kunpeng Supreme has finally found his ideal husband, congratulations. That guy named Xiao Ye must be very outstanding, I need to take a good look at him. There's no one named Xiao Ye among the Supremas recorded in the Supreme Alliance. Who is this Xiao Ye, and what realm is he? He must be at least a Supreme, or even a quasi-saint, otherwise how could he subdue Kunpeng Supreme? Most of these people knew each other, they were friends in Yunbing Supreme's circle. However, they were from different base cities and didn't know much about Yunbing's current situation, so they didn't know Xiao Ye's specific details. At this moment, Xiao Ye stepped forward, greeted everyone, and had the Supremas sit at a round table. One of the one-armed male Supremas chuckled, young brother, I need to ask you something. Xiao Ye had already brewed some tea. What does uncle want to ask? The one-armed Supreme leaned closer and asked with a grin, young brother, do you know this guy named Xiao Ye? Call him out and introduce him to us. The other female Supremas chimed in, yes, call him out so we can see for ourselves. I want to see just how handsome he is, how capable he is, to be able to make a fiery woman like Yunbing fall for him. Young brother, hurry up, we can't wait. Xiao Ye smiled faintly, uncles and ladies, you want to see Xiao Ye? No need to call him, you've already seen him. I am Xiao Ye. What? Huh? The 6 Supremas were completely stunned, staring in shock at Xiao Ye's excessively young and handsome face. The one-armed Supreme was astonished, little brother, don't try to fool us. How old are you? You're barely grown up. The other female Supremas were also surprised, are you a student? Are you even 20? Yunbing is an old cow eating young grass. Vajra Supreme Chenggang walked over, greeted everyone, and then put his arm around Xiao Ye's shoulder, laughing, Let me introduce you. This is the groom of today's wedding, Xiao Ye. Don't be fooled by his youthful appearance, actually. He really is young, not old at all. But don't be deceived by appearances. He's only 18 years old, and he's already at the 6th level of the Venerable Realm. In terms of aptitude and potential, all of us Supremas combined are no match for him. The Supremas present all gasped. Nangguang Kitao and his wife also stared wide-eyed in shock. An 18-year-old at the 6th level of the Venerable Realm. Even the #1 young talent in the Dragon Kingdom can compare. Wait? The one-armed Supreme said, there was something that caused quite a stir in the capital recently, saying that the #1 young talent had changed, and that person was named Xiao Ye. Could it be this Xiao Ye? Xiao Ye nodded, absolutely. At this moment, the chef team brought out steaming dishes and placed them one by one on the round tables. Except for the main table, the other 2 round tables were full. The villa door slammed shut with a burst of floral spray, and Nangguang Xiao, Chang Bingxi, Liu Yan, and Mu Qingxu walked out with a bride, Yun Bing, dressed in red. All eyes turned to them. Chapter 285 Successful Contract, Entering the Bridal Chamber. Yun Bing, dressed in a traditional red Chinese wedding gown without a veil, revealed her exquisitely beautiful face. Everyone rose to greet her. Yun Bing nodded in response to each person, then her beautiful eyes swept around the room, landing on Xiao Ye. Seeing that he hadn't changed out of his wedding attire, she frowned and whispered coquettishly, Xiao Ye, hurry up and change into your wedding dress. If everyone sees you in this, they'll all recognize you as a student and think I'm some old cow eating young grass. Although you really are young grass, and I'd love to eat you too, I'm not an old cow. Seeing the ambiguous exchange between the two, Vajra Supreme Changgang quickly released Xiao Ye and chuckled, Brother Xiao, the bride is out, go greet her. It's time for you two to sign the contract. As for after signing the contract, of course, it's time for the wedding night, you know, how. He was teasing when he suddenly felt a chill run down his spine. Changgang quickly shut up. If he continued, Sister Kunpeng would have another reason to beat him up. She used to beat him up every now and then, calling it sparring. Xiao Ye smiled and walked into the villa, changing into his wedding attire. 10 minutes later, everyone sat down, quietly watching the bride and groom outside the villa. Yun Bing cut to the chase, let's just form a contract. No need for those complicated procedures. Just do it with everyone as witnesses. Xiao Ye replied, no problem. And so, with everyone as witnesses, the two reached out and clasped hands, mobilizing the power of contract formation, their hands intertwining, activating the template's contract's rules. A mysterious and profound power rose between them, creating a subtle connection between them. Contract formed successfully. Yun Bing smiled, like a blooming flower, incredibly bright and beautiful, feeling genuinely happy. After a series of twists and turns, she finally got her wish and formed a contract with Xiao Ye. From now on, she was also one of Xiao Ye's beast girls. Kiss. 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 Nangguang Xiao led the way, and the beast girls shouted in unison, with several supreme beings joining in the cheering. Xiao Ye glanced at the numerous supreme beings, his parents-in-law Nangguang Kitao and his wife, and the Vajra supreme father and son. With so many people around, wouldn't it be inappropriate to bite lips in public? Just as he was about to remain silent, Yun Bing pouted and leaned in, shamelessly saying, Xiao Ye, hurry up, I can't wait. We finally formed a contract, no need to hide anything now. Before Xiao Ye could react, he was forcefully kissed. However, he could sense that Yun Bing's technique was very clumsy, like a girl who hadn't bitten lips many times. He took the initiative, quickly gaining the upper hand. The kiss lasted for 2 minutes before they separated. Yun Bing licked her lips, her beautiful eyes shining, staring intently at him. Xiao Ye felt like he was being watched by a hungry wolf. Clap clap clap. Thunderous applause echoed through the courtyard. Congratulations, Sister Yun. Congratulations, Little Sister Kunpeng. Congratulations, Big Sister Kunpeng. Congratulations, Teacher. Everyone stood up, clasped their hands in greeting, and stepped forward one by one to present the prepared gifts. Each gift was an exquisite box and a gift bag. Yun Bing and Nangguang Xiao were too busy to help, so Nangguang Xiao ran up to help collect the gifts, hugging them tightly. Her pretty face beaming with joy. After everyone took their seats, the one-armed supreme being suggested, Sister Kunpeng, None of us have ever seen a Kunpeng contract beast before. Why don't you satisfy everyone's curiosity and try summoning a Kunpeng? The other supreme beings echoed, yes, if we don't see a Kunpeng summon beast, I'll doubt that you've even formed a contract. Who doesn't know that Sister Yunbing can't form a contract? That contracting phenomenon just now doesn't completely convince us that you've formed a contract. Since everyone present was a friend, Yunbing smiled and nodded, intending to satisfy everyone's curiosity. After giving Xiao Ye a look, she mobilized her contract power, activating the SSS-Level Space Kunpeng template. Xiao Ye also mobilized his contract power. Instantly, the two figures disappeared from everyone's sight. Roar! 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 After an ancient, bone-piercing roar resounded, the sky darkened. The Kunpeng Academy, which had been bathed in the bright morning sun, became pitch black. Everyone looked up and was immediately shocked. In the sky, there was a huge kun. This was a gigantic fish-like magical beast, tens of thousands of meters long and thousands of meters wide. Its fins, tail, and mouth were streamlined, incredibly smooth, and enormous. Its massive shadow enveloped the entire Kunpeng Academy, plunging it into utter darkness. A supreme-level Kunpeng summoned beast. What is this? Has a magical beast invaded the academy? Holy crap, how can this fish fly, and it's so big? Hiss. This giant fish reminds me of a summoned beast recorded in the library, the Kunpeng. I know, this is the Kunpeng. We've seen the Kunpeng magical beast at Kunpeng Academy. This moment deserves to be recorded in history. Hiss, I need to take a picture to remember this moment. The students were incredibly excited, even skipping classes to peer out the windows. This was Kunpeng Academy, but they had never seen a Kunpeng before. Now, seeing one was like witnessing a miracle. The teachers also stopped what they were doing, rushing to the corridor, staring in astonishment at the colossal Kunpeng in the sky. Is this the dean or the vice dean? No contract was formed. Using the summoning stone is necessary to summon the Kunpeng, and there's no monster invasion. Isn't this a waste? Some of the more senior teachers, who had seen the Kunpeng, analyzed the pros and cons. The darkness in the academy lasted for more than 10 seconds. After that, the giant fish in the sky disappeared, and the bright sunlight dispelled the darkness, returning to Kunpeng Academy. Yunbing and Xiao Ye reappeared in front of the villa. The kun is so big, one pod can't hold it all. The one-armed supreme being gasped, jokingly expressing his surprise. Yunbing smiled, now everyone believes we really formed a contract, right? The supreme beings all exclaimed, we believe it. We've seen the kun, of course we believe it. Thump. Having summoned a supreme-level contracted beast, Xiao Ye was a little tired and stumbled, falling into Yunbing's warm and proud embrace. Yunbing was startled, but after checking that everything was alright, she was relieved. The Vajra Supreme laughed loudly, ha ha ha. The groom's eager to enter the bridal chamber, he can't wait. Sister Kunpeng, you all go ahead, we'll just eat at the wedding banquet. Nangguang Xie raised her hand, Xiaobing, oh, Sister Yunbing, go do what you want, I'll toast everyone. Nangguang Kitao, the father-in-law, had a complicated expression, watching his son-in-law being intimate with another beast girl, even though this beast girl was his teacher, Yunbing. Under everyone's gaze, Yunbing's pretty face flushed a rare red, she actually blushed, twisting her body shyly. She picked up Princess Xiao Ye and dashed into the villa, declaring defiantly, I'm going. Chapter 286 Mythical Time-Space Template. Xiao Ye's cultivation level was at the 6th star of the Venerable Realm, 2 major realms below Yunbing's 9th star of the Supreme Realm. There was a vast chasm between them, both in terms of spiritual power and divine sense. Maintaining the existence of the summoned beast, the Kunpeng, consumed enormous amounts of energy and spirit. After only 10 seconds of summoning, Xiao Ye felt as if his energy and spiritual power had been drained, leaving him withered. He was currently being held in Yunbing's arms, watching the swaying Kunpeng, his head spinning, his eyes seeing stars. Xiao Ye slapped him, scolding, too naughty. Behave yourself. Still moving? I will transform into justice to judge you. Behave yourself, you big rascal. Once in the bedroom, Yunbing transformed into a ferocious beast, unleashing her most primal instincts. When he woke up, it was already the next day. Xiao Ye was looking at Yunbing's information panel, SSS Rank Space Kunpeng Template, Realm, Supreme 9 Stars, Talent Skill, Spatial Perception, extremely sensitive to all changes in the surrounding space without any shielding of perception, able to capture very subtle and rapid movements, instant teleportation, instantly jump through space within the range of divine sense, spatial teleportation, teleport between two spatial nodes, ultra-long-distance teleportation, spatial barrier, transform space into a barrier, with defensive and trapping effects, spatial shattering, space shatters like glass, everything within the space will be cut into fragments, spatial solidification, spatial imprisonment, causes space to fall into a stalemate, everything within the space is slowed down as if trapped in mud, spatial blade, a basic version of spatial storms and spatial turbulence. Xiao Ye inherited all of the above skills, all being weakened versions, but after summoning the Kunpeng contract beast, he could perfectly unleash its most primal and immense power. With a whoosh, the instant teleportation talent skill activated. Wearing only a pair of shorts, he appeared in the bathroom. After washing up, he activated his spatial perception talent skill, and the tiny dust particles invisible to the naked eye in the bathroom air came into view. Two small flies buzzed over, and Xiao Ye could clearly see their high-frequency vibrating wings. Each vibration was clearly visible, even the patterns on their wings were clearly discernible. Suddenly, a strange look appeared on his face. These two little flies were actually doing something indescribable, something that would make even an innocent girl blush. He activated his spatial barrier talent skill, and spatial factors gathered, forming a barrier between the two flies, forcibly interrupting and separating the male and female flies. Male fly, it's broken, it's gone. Female fly, damn it, so damn it. Male fly, this guy is simply inhuman, let's split up, one in front and one behind, and suck him dry. The two flies flew over, attacking from both sides, their sharp, long proboscis scissors piercing straight through. He activated his spatial blade talent skill. Tiny spatial fluctuations appeared, and two invisible spatial blades slashed horizontally. PFFT. PFFT. Before the two flies could react, their heads and bodies were severed in two. After stomping the fallen flies flat, Xiao Ye vanished from the bathroom and reappeared in Yun Bing's bedroom. A stunningly beautiful woman lay peacefully on the bed. With a smack, Xiao Ye pulled back the covers and slapped Yun Bing's pert buttocks, a wicked smile playing on his lips. Wife, get up. Hiss. Yun Bing felt a burning sensation, gasped, and jumped up, bumping into the ceiling. Then she landed on Xiao Ye. Xiao Ye caught her perfectly, though her posture was a bit like a child relieving themselves. Yun Bing felt incredibly ashamed, quickly freeing herself, getting dressed, and going to wash up. Xiao Ye tidied the disheveled blankets and was astonished to find a small, bright red flower on the sheet. Was she really a virgin? Xiao Ye cut off the little red flower, put it in a delicate little box, stuck a label on the lid with the words Yun Bing written on it, and then put it away. Keeping it as a souvenir isn't too much to ask, is it? He muttered to himself, and went downstairs. Downstairs, Cheng Bingxi, Liu Yan, and Mu Qingsu were present, having gotten up early to come and wait to meet the two newcomers. Mu Qingsu's expression was somewhat complicated. Less than a week had passed, and she had gone from a newcomer to veteran, becoming a senior Beast Girl in the Beast Girl family. Xiao Ye and Yun Bing walked down hand in hand, and upon looking around, they found everyone was there. Wait, Nangguang Xiao wasn't there. Xiao Ye frowned. Where's Xiao? She went to be with her parents, Cheng Bingxi said with a smile. Xiao Ye's brows relaxed, and he nodded. Everyone came so early, is there something you need? Cheng Bingxi stood up, walked over, and took Yun Bing's hand, smiling. Sister Yun Bing, welcome to our Beast Girl family. From now on, you're one of us. Liu Yang also took his hand. Sister Yun Bing, you're not my boss anymore, we're real sisters now. Mu Qingsu froze, seemingly lost in thought. Xiao Ye flicked her forehead, saying, aren't you going to say something? Make your stance clear? Huh? Mu Qingsu reacted, quickly saying, Sister Yun Bing, we're family now, we can interact more with the city lord's mansion. Yun Bing smiled and nodded in response. Xiao Ye slapped his thigh, saying, now that the contract is in place, it's time to upgrade the template. The template adjuster's template detection function was activated. SSS level space Kunpeng template, upgradable, upgrade information, mythical level Kunpeng space venerable king template, required materials. 50 creation type rule fragment crystals, 50 space type rule fragment crystals, 50 Dark Law Fragment Crystals. Mu Kingsu's beautiful eyes lit up. Xiao Ye had promised her he would upgrade her template. Yunbing tilted her head, puzzled. Upgrade template? Can template levels be upgraded? She didn't know about the template mutations of Cheng Bingxi, Nanguang Xiao, and Liu Yang. Xiao Ye explained, yes, they can be upgraded. You only need some materials to upgrade the template. Cheng Bingxi blinked and said, Sister Yunbing, we are all mythical level templates above SSS level, otherwise we wouldn't have been able to advance to the 6th star of the Venerable Realm so quickly. Mythical level template? Yunbing's eyes widened in shock. Isn't this a template level that only exists in legends? You all have it? And, I can also have a mythical level template? She became excited. Xiao Ye nodded, yes, we all are. Suddenly he hesitated, then continued, Zuir isn't yet. Time-related upgrade materials are too hard to find. SSS rank time candle dragon template. Upgradable. Upgrade information. Mythical rank time emperor candle dragon template. Required materials. 50 creation type rule fragment crystals. 50 time type rule fragment crystals. 50 reincarnation type rule fragment crystals. Yunbing and Mu Kingsu, one representing space, the other time, together form space-time. Space is king. Time is emperor. Xiao Ye now possesses both. Chapter 287 The Origin of Cosmic Level Order. Of course, their current cultivation level is not high enough to unleash the true power of this template. Yunbing asked, you said that upgrading the template requires gathering resources. What specific resources are needed? Your template upgrade requires 50 creation type rule fragment crystals, 50 space type rule fragment crystals, and 50 dark type rule fragment crystals, a total of 150 fragment crystals. With these, you can upgrade the template level to mythical level. Xiao Ye replied. Yunbing clicked her tongue, waved her hand, and said with an embarrassed expression, 150 rule fragment crystals? I almost died trying to condense just 2. Where am I supposed to get so many? How many times would I have to die to get them? Forget it, I'd better not upgrade. Whether it's spatial, dark, or creation type, obtaining them is extremely difficult. A smile appeared on Xiao Ye's face. It's okay, I have a way. Yunbing's beautiful eyes lit up. Really? Liu explained, really. Xiao Ye can extract rule fragment crystals of the corresponding attribute from attribute-specific magical beasts. To get 150 rule fragment crystals, you only need to kill 150 magical beasts of the corresponding attribute. Sister Yunbing, for others, obtaining rule fragment crystals is as difficult as ascending to heaven, but for Xiao Ye, it's a piece of cake. Yunbing was stunned, somewhat shocked. Xiao Ye, I really can't understand you anymore. You're becoming a monster. Xiao Ye's face darkened. Was this a compliment or an insult? Cheng Bingxi asked, Sister Yunbing, aren't you angry at all? He can obtain fragment crystals so easily, while you were forced to condense them in the chaotic space a while ago, and you almost paid the price with your life. Yunbing shook her head, angry about what? If I hadn't had those experiences, I wouldn't understand my inner feelings. If it weren't for what happened when I was on the verge of death, Xiao Ye wouldn't have agreed to form a contract with me. I should be grateful for these experiences. Hearing this, Mu Kingsu secretly admired Yunbing's magnanimity. In contrast, she herself adopted a more feminine demeanor, asking, Xiao Ye, who do you plan to upgrade the template for first? Time-type magical beasts are hard to find, and my upgrade resources are hard to gather. If you want to upgrade Sister Yunbing's template first, I won't mind. Xiao Ye scratched his head. I've already captured hundreds of space-type magical beasts from the Mu family's territory. I can extract rule fragment crystals anytime. Dark type is also very common, you can easily catch a bunch in the magical beast forest. As for creation type, that's a basic attribute, all magical beasts possess it. So, these 150 fragment crystals are easy to obtain, and I can upgrade the template anytime. Mu Kingsu's face fell, looking at him with some resentment. This bastard was already thinking about Sister Yunbing before even forming a contract with me, otherwise he wouldn't have captured space-type magical beasts so early. Yunbing was very excited and jumped up. Then what are we waiting for? Let's get started. Oh, Xiao Ye said somewhat awkwardly, upgrading the template has side effects. I have to make it clear to you two beforehand. Upgrading the template is equivalent to resetting a completely new template, equivalent to reawakening a completely new template. After the template upgrade is complete, your realm will be reset to 0. And you will be reduced to the first level of the mortal realm. You will need to start cultivating again. These words were like a bucket of cold water poured on Yunbing, instantly extinguishing her excitement. This. I spent 1,500 years cultivating to the 9th level of the Supreme Realm. If I have to start cultivating again, She shook her head violently, her long black hair swaying like waves. I don't want to. Liu estimated and said, a mythical level template, starting from 0, will take at least a year, or even 2 or 3 years, to reach the Supreme Realm. Xiao Ye waved his hand. In fact, he didn't want to see Yunbing's realm reset to 0 either. Having just acquired a Supreme Realm contractor, she would become a mortal realm contractor before she could even get used to it. No one would want that. He spoke up, if Sister Yunbing doesn't want to, then forget it. Let's upgrade Zuir's template first. Little girl, your realm will reset to 0 after the template upgrade. Are you willing to upgrade your template? Mu Kingsu didn't make a decision and asked, after upgrading the template, how long will it take to advance to the Venerable Realm? Xiao Ye tapped his fingers, 10 minutes to Grandmaster, 2 hours to Great Grandmaster, 10 hours to Venerable Realm, adding up to a day, less than a day. 13 hours is enough. Mu Kingsu was shocked, that's insane. I cultivated for 2 years, with all sorts of rare treasures, and only reached the peak of the Great Grandmaster Realm. I'm willing to upgrade my template. Xiao Ye snapped his fingers, no problem. Yunbing's face darkened. Having too high a realm wasn't good either. If you valued it too much, it would be hard to let go. Yunbing was somewhat envious of Mu Kingsu. If only she were only at the Great Grandmaster Realm, she wouldn't be so conflicted. Event detected, mission function automatically triggered. Please check mission information. Xiao Ye was stunned and opened the mission information panel that only he could see. Mission, gain control of the Emperor-level Bronze Palace and subdue its spirit. Mission reward, Cosmic Level Origin of Order. Description of Cosmic Level Origin of Order, can be used to extend the functions of the template adjuster, such as the realm retention function after template upgrade. Just when he was sleepy, the system came to him. Xiao Ye was overjoyed. The realm retention function after template upgrade, as the name suggests, means that the realm will not reset to 0. After the template adjuster's functions are extended, upgrading the template will prevent Yunbing's realm from resetting to 0, so he can sleep with a Supreme Realm contractor every day. Sleeping with a Supreme Realm contractor is a completely different feeling from sleeping with a mortal realm contractor. Just as Xiao Ye was checking the information panel, Yunbing had already found the location of the time attribute magical beast. Time-type magical beasts are extremely rare, even rarer than space-type magical beasts. Besides the core area of the magical beast forest, they only exist in the ancestral lands of the major superfamilies. Humans generally don't easily venture into these places. There's another place where time-type magical beasts exist, and that is the Bronze Palace. The Bronze Palace within the Qin family's ancestral land in Jinling City. There, time-type magical beasts reside. Of course, I don't know which level of the Bronze Palace they're on. Yunbing recalled and explained in detail. Hearing this, Xiao Ye was stunned, then overjoyed. He had just been overjoyed, now he was ecstatic, showing just how happy and excited he was. He chuckled involuntarily, slapping his thigh and saying, good, good, good. Let's head to the Bronze Palace now and gather the upgrade resources for that arrogant little girl. This trip would not only collect upgrade resources from Mu Kingsu's template, but also complete the system task, extending the template adjuster's function and preventing Yunbing's realm from resetting to 0. It was a win-win situation. Was his good fortune due to his mythical level talent? Was he favored by heaven and earth, blessed by the laws? Chapter 288 Re-entering the Bronze Palace. In Jinling City, a top-tier base city, at the City Lord's mansion, the Qin family's territory. Deep within the small world, lies the residence of the Qin family's Saint Realm ancestor. The Qin family patriarch, Qin Tai, who is also the City Lord of Jinling City, is questioning his dozing Saint Realm ancestor about the Bronze Palace. But no matter how he asks, the ancestor seems unwilling to pay him any attention, yawning and dozing off. Qin Tai emphasized the gravity of the situation. Ancestor, if this news gets out, our Qin family will be plunged into an abyss of no return. targeted by all medical families and clans, and even incite public outrage in Jinling City. Over the past few thousand years, at least tens of thousands of medical prodigies have died in the Bronze Hall. It's because we spread false information that so many people have died. The Qin family ancestor's expression finally changed, and he raised an eyebrow, saying, "Finished?" Qin Tai nodded. "So I want to ask, is it only those with a medical saint body who can obtain the emperor-level medical inheritance of the Bronze Hall?" The Qin family ancestor replied directly, "Yes." Qin Tai's face changed drastically, somewhat angry. "Then why did you spread false information? Did you foresee that this would plunge our family into an abyss?" The Qin family ancestor glanced at him disdainfully. "Just kill those who know the truth. Do I need to teach you how to do something so simple?" Qin Tai sighed, not answering the question, but instead asking, "Ancestor, what is the holy body of medicine?" The Bronze Palace comes from ancient times. What were the characteristics of the holy body of medicine from that era? My daughter's constitution problem must be solved, so we must obtain the emperor-level inheritance from the Bronze Palace. The Qin family patriarch was somewhat impatient. Holy body of medicine? That's a constitution that doesn't even exist. The old ghost from the Bronze Palace described it as a constitution that can absorb all pathogens in the world for its own use. The more pathogens absorbed, and the higher their level, the faster this constitution can advance in cultivation. What was it called again? Right. Chaotic virus holy body. There's no one in the world with this constitution, it simply doesn't exist. So we can only let those medical prodigies try their luck at the Bronze Palace. Qin Tai frowned deeply. The chaotic virus holy body, capable of absorbing all pathogens in the world as cultivation resources to advance in cultivation? It sounded incredibly abnormal. Jinling City was the base city with the most medical families, and medical prodigies emerged in droves, but he had never heard of such a constitution. The Qin family patriarch waved his hand. "Alright, get out of here. From today onwards, the Bronze Hall will not be open to the public, only to members of the Mu family. Although we won't get the emperor-level inheritance, there are still many good things inside, which is worth our Mu family taking advantage of. The boundary-breaking talisman isn't difficult to make or refine. Go get it yourself." A force swept over, and a flash of white light appeared in front of Qin Tai, forcing him out of the clan's small world and back to the main hall of the city lord's mansion. Chaotic virus holy body. Qin Tai frowned. Did this kind of physique really exist? If he couldn't find a medical genius with this physique, he wouldn't be able to get the emperor-level inheritance. And his daughter Qin Zir's physique problem wouldn't be solved. He would have to marry his daughter into the Yi family, a super family in the capital. Currently, marrying into the Yi family was the only way. Report. At this moment, a guard came in to report, "City Lord, the Kunpeng Supreme of the Magic Capital Base City wants to see you. Let her in." Qin Tai composed himself and said. Half a minute later, Yunbing led Xiao Ye and Mu Qingxiu into the main hall. "Is that you? Yunbing, the Yangtze twin supreme being?" Qin Tai asked, somewhat surprised. "Kunpeng Supreme Being, is there something you need?" Yunbing clasped her hands in a fist salute and directly stated her purpose. "My husband wants to try his luck in the Bronze Hall again, to hone his skills. I hope City Lord Qin will agree." Qin Tai waved his hand. "I'm sorry, my family ancestor just changed the rules, closing the Bronze Hall and prohibiting all outsiders from entering." Yunbing smiled. "I can pay a fee." Qin Tai shook his head. "I'm sorry, members of the Qin family are allowed, but outsiders are not." Yunbing's pretty face stiffened. Xiao Ye and Mu Qingxiu's faces darkened. But Qin Tai was now somewhat curious and asked, "Kunpeng Supreme Being, you said your husband wants to try the Bronze Hall. Are you able to form a contract with him now?" "Husband, only after forming a contract can one be called husband. Otherwise, one can only call him boyfriend." Qin Tai had long heard that the two beautiful supreme beings of the Magic City base had been single for over 1,000 years, and that their templates had problems. Yunbing nodded, her beautiful eyes looking at Xiao Ye, and said with genuine joy, "Yes, I've already accepted the contract." Looking at Xiao Ye, Qin Tai said incredulously, "Ah, so your husband isn't this brother Xiao, is he?" Yunbing readily admitted, "That's right." Qin Tai's lips twitched. "This guy's student, right? Is he even 20? This is practically an old cow eating young grass. Wait. He seemed to have missed something." After a moment's thought, Qin Tai was overjoyed and hurriedly asked, Could you please tell me how the Kunpeng Supreme solved the template problem? My daughter also has a problem with her constitution. It might also be caused by the template issue. Yunbing crossed her arms, her face turning cold, and said, no. Oh. Qin Tai's smile froze. I hope the Kunpeng Supreme can tell me how to solve the template problem. I can pay the reward, he said again. Yunbing shook her head. I'm sorry, this is my secret. Outsiders cannot know. Qin Tai. Why did this sound so familiar? Qin Tai realized what was happening, his face bitter. Kunpeng Supreme, you're copying me, he said. Yunbing's lips curled into a smile. Likewise. Qin Tai sighed helplessly. Outsiders can't enter the Bronze Hall. This is a rule my family's ancestor just established. Yunbing scoffed. Is the rule more important, or your daughter? Qin Tai's face hardened. He decided to go all out. Of course, his daughter was more important. Rules are rigid, but people are flexible. I can secretly let you into the family territory and into the Bronze Hall, but before that, you must tell me how to solve the template problem, he said. Yunbing's face lit up. She transmitted her voice to Xiao Ye. Should I tell him the truth, or just give him a piece of my mind? Xiao Ye frowned and thought. Qin Zier's physical problem was very likely a physical defect caused by the template problem. If that was the case, he did have a way to solve it. Let me explain, Xiao Ye said. City Lord Qin, I solved Yunbing's template problem. As for your daughter's physical condition, if it's a template issue causing a defect in her bodily functions, I'm confident I can resolve it. Qin Tai was overjoyed, his face beaming with uncontrollable smiles. Although somewhat doubtful, he felt that there couldn't be a more difficult problem to solve than a template issue. Good, he eagerly asked. Then, Mr. Xiao, when will you treat my daughter's physical condition? Xiao Ye waved his hand. Let us enter the Bronze Hall first. We'll discuss your daughter's matter after we come out. Qin Tai slapped his thigh. No problem. I'll take you smuggled into the family's small world right now. At this moment, he completely disregarded the family patriarch and family rules. Chapter 289 Time-Based Attribute Moro Ancient Tree. After opening the special passage into the small world, Qin Tai suddenly hesitated and said, Kunpeng Supreme, Mr. Xiao, could you summon the Kunpeng Contract Beast? If I didn't see the summoned beast, I would find it hard to believe that the Kunpeng Supreme's template problem has really been solved. Xiao Ye shook his head. No, summoning the contracted beast is too mentally and physically exhausting. Qin Tai's face darkened. Xiao Ye changed the subject. I have a way to prove that we have formed a contract. As he spoke, he reached out and clenched his fist, and the space in front of him shattered inch by inch. Even the flower bed was turned into fragments and crushed to pieces by the special power. In a flash of white light, his figure suddenly appeared behind Qin Tai and said, City Lord Qin, do you believe me now? Qin Tai could sense the special power around Xiao Ye and understood that this was the inherited attributes and innate skills of the summoned beast. He was overjoyed and said, I believe you, I believe you. Kunpeng Supreme, Mr. Xiao, and this lady, please follow me. He led the three into the clan's small world and appeared outside the towering Bronze Hall. This was a towering structure, massive in size, its top reaching the heavens, its entire body a bluish-gray. Sensing the soul-capturing pearl of the system space, Xiao Ye's eyes lingered on the tower, growing increasingly fond of it, treating it as his own treasure, as if it would be his possession at any moment. Unaware of this, Qin Tai smiled and said, Mr. Xiao and this lady, please stand beneath the Bronze Palace Tower and undergo its examination. Kunpeng Supreme and I, please retreat to a distance of 100 meters from the Bronze Palace. As long as your aptitude is up to par and you reach the Venerable Realm, you can enter the Bronze Palace an unlimited number of times. Qin Tai and Yunbing retreated 100 meters, looking at the two beneath the tower. Dong dong dong. Ancient bells rang. A massive beam of light shone down from the top of the Bronze Palace Tower, enveloping Xiao Ye and Mu Qingsu. Oh no, this girl is still only at the peak of the Grandmaster Realm, not yet at the Venerable Realm. Xiao Ye hurriedly took out his black token, the bronze token, then took Mu Qingsu's hand and activated its free entry and exit function. The massive beam of light vanished. An aura emanated from the bronze token, enveloping the two. Xiao Ye and Mu Qingsu vanished, entering the Bronze Palace together. They entered the first level. Just as they were about to fall into an illusion, Xiao Ye activated the bronze token's teleportation function, transporting them to the fifth level. Having failed to encounter any time-related magical beasts in the first 4 levels, Xiao Ye planned to start from the 5th. Mu Qingsu looked somewhat dazed. Are we on the first level? Xiao Ye smiled. This is the 5th level. Last time I obtained the relevant permissions for the Bronze Palace, allowing me to freely go to any level. Mu Qingsu's eyes widened. That's amazing. In that case, we don't need to go through each level one by one, we can skip the levels without time-related magical beasts. Xiao Ye agreed wholeheartedly, nodding. That's right. Mu Qingsu smiled. Standing inside the teleportation array, they weren't repelled by its barrier and could clearly see the outside world. This 5th level was also a dimensional world. There were no magical beasts, energy pools, or illusionary formations outside. Xiao Ye shrugged. Looks like there aren't any time-related magical beasts on this level either. Let's go, next level. Although he could get valuable rewards after clearing the level, Xiao Ye felt he should take the entire tower for himself. He could keep all the rewards for himself then, so there was no need to clear the level. Controlling the bronze token, the teleportation array activated again, teleporting Xiao Ye and Mu Qingsu to the 6th level of the Bronze Palace. This level was actually an underwater world. The teleportation array was located on the seabed, isolated by a barrier, keeping the seawater out. Huge fish-like magical beasts swam outside the barrier. Some were only 100 meters long, but others were tens of thousands of meters long. Mu Qingsu was secretly shocked. A magical beast 10,000 meters long was at least at the Supreme Realm, possibly even at the perfected Supreme Realm. Supreme-level magical beasts could tear through space and escape this realm, but why hadn't they left, instead staying here? The Bronze Palace is more terrifying than we imagined, Mu Qingsu said solemnly. Xiao Ye thought it was normal. The Bronze Palace is an Emperor-level weapon, equivalent to an Emperor-grade weapon. Trapping creatures from the original dimensional world shouldn't be difficult for it. It's probably an ancient powerful being who captured an entire small dimensional world and locked it inside the Bronze Palace. I just don't know what the attributes of these magical beasts are. Xiao Ye was curious and moved to leave the barrier to investigate the specific attributes of these magical beasts. Mu Qingsu grabbed him, exclaiming, "Are you crazy? You're only at the Venerable Realm, are you going out to your death?" Xiao Ye paused, realizing she was right. The template adjuster could detect the attributes of these magical beasts. There was no need for him to risk his life to investigate personally. Activate template adjuster's detection function. SSS rank talent, demonic whale. Attributes, water, gravity, realm, supreme 4-star, S rank talent, deep sea octopus. Attributes, water, dark, earth, realm, great venerable perfection. SS rank talent, foreman shark. Attributes, water, destruction, realm, supreme 1-star. SSS rank talent, deep sea tiger beast. Attributes, water, lightning, light, realm, supreme 10-star. Suddenly, the supreme 10-star deep-sea tiger beast's deep gaze swept over Xiao Ye's direction twice. Xiao Ye and Mu Qingsu felt a chill run down their spines, thinking it had discovered them. But the deep-sea tiger beast seemed not to have seen anything, glancing at them before leaving. Mu Qingsu patted her slightly bulging chest and said, "That was close. If we had been targeted, we would have been dead." Xiao Ye frowned, puzzled. With so many high-level magical beasts here, what's the test for this level? It's not like everyone's going to their deaths, is it? There have always been Venerable Realm geniuses who passed it before. There were no time-type magical beasts here, so he simply activated the teleportation array, sending the two of them to the 7th level. The 7th level of the Bronze Palace. This level wasn't underwater. Looking out, the two only saw ancient trees covered in green vines. There were no magical beasts, just ancient trees and greenery everywhere. This was in a primeval forest. Mu Qingsu sighed, there are no magical beasts on this level. It seems time-type magical beasts aren't here. Let's go to the next level. Xiao Ye nodded, agreeing. But before activating the teleportation array, he used the template adjuster to examine the ancient trees. SS rank talent primal demon tree. Attributes, wood, time, realm, great venerable realm, 2nd star. A rank talent primal demon tree. Attributes, wood, earth, time, destruction, realm, venerable realm, 10 stars. SSS rank talent primal demon tree. Attributes, wood, life, time, realm, great venerable realm, 10 stars. Wait. Xiao Ye paused. These ancient trees are time-type demonic plants. Time-type attribute, found. Chapter 290 Successfully extracted time-related rule fragment crystal. Mu Kingsu paused, then exclaimed with delight, "Let's hurry out." The ancient trees, motionless and lush green, seemed harmless, causing one to unconsciously lower their guard. She walked briskly towards the edge of the barrier, her vigilance low. Xiao Ye understood the power of these ancient trees. They were at least at the Venerable Realm, and at most at the Great Venerable Realm or higher. If Mu Kingsu went out, she would surely die. But he simply watched her leave. When Mu Kingsu reached the edge of the barrier, her temples throbbed. Her innate skill, future foresight, foresees the next few seconds in detail, automatically activated, and a series of dangerous scenarios flashed through her mind. Her expression changed drastically. She stopped abruptly, afraid to step out of the barrier, patting her slightly protruding chest, and exclaimed, "That was close. I almost died." "Xiao Ye, the air outside is full of toxins. Going out will cause you to be infected with the ancient virus, resulting in nerve numbness, functional decline, and ultimately becoming a vegetable, nourishing the ancient trees. Time-based and space-based abilities are extremely sensitive to danger warnings. Time-related talents can automatically activate their innate abilities to foresee danger, and Xiao Ye understood this, so he was relatively at ease. "It's alright, go out." Xiao Ye kicked Mu Kingsu's skin drum, sending her out of the barrier. She landed lightly on the ground with a backflip, her expression a mixture of surprise and anger. Clenching her fists, she snapped, "What are you doing? I told you it's dangerous here." Xiao Ye shook his head. "No matter how dangerous it is, this is still a trial ground, not a place of certain death. Otherwise, no trial participant could pass this level of the trial. What, you, the former #1 prodigy of the demon capital, don't even dare to take the trial?" Provoked by Xiao Ye, the proud Mu Kingsu glared, puffing out her chest, and said, "Who said that? I, Mu Kingsu, can pass this kind of trial in a minute. It's not difficult at all." Xiao Ye also left the barrier. Sure enough, the air was filled with a very strong negative energy. He only took one breath and felt a slight discomfort. His body had evolved. For others, it wouldn't have been a slight discomfort. Mu Kingsu frowned. "My legs are numb, like they were cramping. I can't move." She wasn't a medical prodigy and didn't have the relevant attribute energy to dispel the ancient virus and suppress the poisoning symptoms. Xiao Ye didn't feel much discomfort and moved freely. He activated life control from wood element control and life and death control, using wood element and life factors to sustain himself and resist the ancient virus and mild symptoms that had seeped into his body. "Your physique hasn't upgraded, and you don't have medical attributes. You might become a vegetable if you stay here for another minute," Xiao Ye joked. Mu Kingsu broke down, panicking. "What should I do? I'm going to die." Xiao Ye took out a bronze token and activated a pathogen absorption function. A beam of light projected out, bathing Mu Kingsu like sunlight, making her feel very warm and comfortable. The ancient virus in her body was completely absorbed. With the pathogen gone, the symptoms were greatly reduced and could be ignored. Mu Kingsu, lively and overjoyed, exclaimed, "I'm alright. Xiao Ye, you're still the best. You truly deserve to be the man I, Mu Kingsu, have chosen. You're more outstanding than anyone else. You weren't worried about me getting poisoned at all, were you?" This was the first time Mu Kingsu had praised him like this, and Xiao Ye felt flattered, laughing. "That's right. Say more if you can talk, I love to hear it." The surrounding primal demon trees remained motionless, showing no sign of attacking the two. A virtual screen appeared above the barrier, displaying ancient text explaining the trial content for this level. The two didn't recognize the ancient text, but after reading it, the meaning of the words automatically surfaced in their minds. Trial content: survive for 1 day under the attack of the stiffness virus. Special note: the heartwood of the primal demon tree has the effect of dispelling the virus and treating stiffness symptoms. Mu Kingsu understood, these ancient trees are strange. If we try to take the heartwood, we'll probably face a counterattack from the ancient trees. The light projected from the bronze token continued to fall on her. Transformation between reality and illusion freely transforms oneself and external objects into real and illusory states. Illusory state: invisible to the naked eye, invisible to divine sense, untouchable by physical form, immune to a certain degree of any attribute attack. Xiao Ye transformed himself into an illusory state and said, "You just stand there and watch the show. Leave the task of slaying the demon Luo ancient tree to me." Spatial blade, invisible, colorless, silent, and stealthy. A sharp blade condensed from spatial factors cleaved horizontally towards a venerable realm level 2 demon Luo ancient tree. PFFT. The demon Luo ancient tree was cut in half. Just as Xiao Ye thought he had succeeded in killing it, the demon Luo ancient tree's branches plunged into the ground, tightly sealing the wound. In less than 10 seconds, the wound disappeared, and the injury was healed. Xiao Ye was somewhat surprised. The demon Luo ancient tree possessed the wood attribute, and its healing ability was so abnormal. He launched another attack, 10 special blades cleaving horizontally towards the demon Luo ancient tree from top to bottom. The ancient demon tree reacted prematurely, countless branches shooting out like vines to block the approaching danger. PFFT. 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 But the spatial blade, unleashed by Xiao Ye, a 6th-star Venerable Realm cultivator, was far beyond the capabilities of a 2nd-star Venerable Realm ancient demon tree. When the special blade arrived, it cleaved the tree's branches and trunk into 11 pieces. Boom! With its trunk broken into 11 pieces, the ancient demon tree's healing ability couldn't keep up, and it crashed heavily to the ground, nearing death. Activation of the Template Adjuster's Rule Fragment Crystal Extraction Function. A supreme, mysterious power descended. The ancient demon tree convulsed, a putrid aura spreading out, its trunk decaying until it finally turned to dust and dissipated into the air. Venerable Realm Time-type Demonic Plant, successfully extracted 3 Time-type Rule Fragment Crystals. A Grandmaster Realm Cultivator can extract 1, a Great Grandmaster Realm Cultivator 2, a Venerable Realm Cultivator 3, but no mortal realm cultivators can extract any. Within the system space, 3 unique crystallized fragments of rules appeared, their irregular shapes emanating a powerful aura of time factors and time rules. "It's done!" Xiao Ye exclaimed with delight. Mu King bit her lower lip tightly. Xiao Ye was fighting, while she could only watch helplessly, like a decorative vase. She felt incredibly humiliated. She secretly vowed to seize the time to cultivate, raise her own realm, and catch up with Xiao Ye. Mu King didn't attack the demon ancient tree, so the demon ancient tree wouldn't attack her. But Xiao Ye was different. The demon ancient tree collectively moved, countless branches like vines piercing towards his location. Instantaneous teleportation, perform a special jump within the range of divine sense. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 291 100 Time-type Pills. After instantly teleporting to the next location, Xiao Ye did not launch an attack. The primordial ancient demon trees adopted a defensive stance, but could not deduce Xiao Ye's location using future foresight. Xiao Ye admired the principles of these ancient demon trees. Even though Mu King, a human, stood there motionless, he did not attack her, only launching a counterattack against him. He activated his instant teleport talent skill. Xiao Ye specially jumped to a spot not far from a venerable realm ancient demon tree, and used his spatial blade talent skill as before, condensing 10 special blades that slash horizontally at the ancient demon tree from bottom to top. PFFT. 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 The Venerable Realm Primordial Ancient Demon Tree was cleaved into 11 pieces. Venerable Realm Time-type Demonic Plant, successfully extracted 2 Time-type Rule Fragment Crystals, successfully extracted 1 Creation-type Rule Fragment Crystal. As Xiao Ye harvested, countless leaves on the surrounding ancient demon trees hardened, tilting down like a rain of swords, shooting towards his location. Swoosh! 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 Xiao Ye instantly left his original spot using teleportation. The rain of swords pierced the air at high speed, sparking crimson flames and emitting puffs of white steam that engulfed the earth. The leaves returned to the branches of the ancient tree of the demon tree from the earth, reattaching themselves. Xiao Ye was somewhat surprised. Could it be done like this? However, this did not affect his acquisition of Rule Fragment Crystals. He was in a phantom state, and only when he launched an attack could the ancient tree of the demon tree deduce his location based on the attack trajectory. As long as he did not launch an attack, the ancient tree of the demon tree While his ethereal state grants immunity to certain elemental attacks, the ancient demonic trees within contain demonic plants at the 10th star Grand Venerable level. These plants' attacks will inevitably affect and damage him in his ethereal state. Next, Xiao Ye employs his old technique, combining Spatial Blade and Instant Teleportation, to continuously acquire time-related rule fragments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Grand Venerable level ancient demonic trees fell one by one to the Spatial Blade. Grand Venerable level time-related demonic plant successfully extracted 3 time rule fragments. Grand Venerable level time-related demonic plant successfully extracted 1 time-related and 2 destruction-related fragments. Grand Venerable level time-related demonic plant successfully extracted 1 time-related, 1 wood fragment, and 1 earth fragment. Half an hour has passed. He has acquired 30 time-related, 40 wood-related, 20 destruction-related, and 15 earth-related fragments. Watching Xiao Ye's unparalleled heroic figure, single-handedly taking on 10,000 enemies, Mu Qingxu's beautiful eyes gleamed with excitement. She once again realized the vast gap between herself and Xiao Ye. She yearned to be like him, taking the head of her target amidst a sea of soldiers. At this moment, Xiao Ye noticed the 2 venerable realm primal demon trees beside Mu Qingxu and transmitted his voice, "You arrogant little girl, move aside. I've got my eye on those 2 ancient trees next to you. Don't stand there in the way." In the way? Mu Qingxu's pretty face darkened, her fists clenched, and her teeth gritted. As the former #1 prodigy of the demon capital base city, being treated like a decorative vase watching the show was already humiliating enough. And this bastard actually said she was in the way. "Hey, what are you standing there for? Move aside," Xiao Ye urged. Mu Qingxu walked aside, her face dark, moving 200 meters away. Xiao Ye smiled and launched another attack, unleashing dozens of spatial blades towards the 2 venerable realm demon trees. With his previous experience, he skillfully dodged the counterattacks of the other ancient demon trees and easily killed the 2 venerable level ancient demon trees. Venerable level time type demonic plant successfully extracted 3 time type rule fragment crystals. Venerable level time type demonic plant successfully extracted 3 time type rule fragment crystals. This time, his luck was off the charts. All the extracted fragments were time type, without any other types mixed in. After the previous exertion, Xiao Ye's special factor was less than 30% remaining, so he changed his attack method to kill the original ancient demon tree. 5 elements control, fire element control. Ancient demon trees, whether time type or destruction type, have a basic wood attribute and are demonic plants. Most demonic plants are countered by fire. Therefore, Xiao Ye planned to set it ablaze. "Little girl, you should go inside the teleportation array barrier. Outside, no matter where you are, you're in the way," Xiao Ye transmitted his voice. Mu Qingxu's pretty face turned as black as charcoal, her lower lip almost bleeding from being bitten by her teeth. Xiao Ye's words were undoubtedly an insult, a mockery of her. She was not only a pretty face, but also a burden, a liability. Mu Qingxu's chest heaved with anger as she gritted her teeth and spat out a single word, "Fine." She vowed to cultivate diligently, raise her cultivation level, catch up with Xiao Ye, and then surpass him. Watching her enter the barrier with that somewhat angry expression, Xiao Ye scratched his head, feeling bewildered. What was wrong? Was she angry again? As the saying goes, a beautiful woman's emotions are as unpredictable as the weather, impossible to fathom. At this moment, Xiao Ye deeply agreed. Fire element control, as the name suggests, control over all fire elements in the world. Burn. The fire elements within Xiao Ye surged forth like a raging sea. Boom. 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 Flames roared from the dry leaves, branches, and trunks of the ancient demon trees. The flames were dark brown, reaching temperatures of several thousand degrees. Hiss 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 hiss. The lower-level demonic trees of the demonic realm howled in agony, struggling horribly, but to no avail, being burned alive by the blackish-brown, high-temperature flames. Under such severe burns, the demonic trees' wood attribute healing abilities were simply insufficient to keep up with the intensity of their injuries. Watching the venerable realm demonic trees on the verge of death, Xiao Ye activated the extraction power of the template adjuster. Venerable realm time type demonic plant successfully extracted 1 time type and 2 wood type. Venerable realm time type demonic plant successfully extracted 3 time type. Venerable realm time type demonic plant Successfully extracted 2 time type and 1 destruction type. Venerable Realm, a series of messages arrived. In a short time, Xiao Ye had already obtained over 100 time type rule fragment crystals, far exceeding 50. And demonic trees were still being burned to death in an endless stream. Xiao Ye observed the primeval forest. Venerable Realm demonic trees, once touched by the blackish-brown flames, were doomed. Chapter 292 Facing an Emperor-level artifact spirit, the soul-seizing pearl unleashes its power. However, the ancient demon trees at the Great Venerable Realm could actually extinguish the dark brown flames using destructive matter. Once the flames approached the tree, they were completely extinguished. An hour passed, and not a single Great Venerable Demon tree had been burned to death. Moreover, the Great Venerable Demon trees launched a counterattack, countless destructive rays shooting out from their leaves like a torrential downpour towards Xiao Ye. Xiao Ye decisively stopped using his fire element control, talent skill, ceased his attack, and specially jumped to another location, concealing himself and shielding himself from perception. In the primeval forest, he had already burned over 80 ancient demon trees to death, extracting 155 time-related rule fragment crystals. Having obtained the time-related rule fragment crystals, he returned to the teleportation array barrier. Mu Qingsu was somewhat sullen, her beautiful eyes glaring at him without speaking. Xiao Ye shrugged and said, I was going to show you the results, but since you don't want to, forget it. HMPH. Mu Qingsu turned her head away. You're just treating me like a pretty face, I don't want to see it. Xiao Ye's lips twitched. My precious treasure, I'll show it to Sister Yanbing and the others when I get back. Then, he activated the teleportation array and teleported directly to the highest level of the Bronze Palace, the 10th level. Xiao Ye took out a rule-level soul-absorbing pearl and activated its absorption function to ensure he could absorb souls at any time. The Bronze Palace was an Emperor-level spiritual artifact, and he was about to face the spirit of an Emperor-level artifact. Emperor-level artifact spirits were powerful and had many tricks up their sleeves, so he couldn't afford to be careless. Xiao Ye said solemnly, Little girl, I'm going to subdue the spirit of the Bronze Palace later, so stay behind me and don't move around. Otherwise, the two of us might die here. Mu Qingsu was still angry and pouted, subconsciously saying, It's just the spirit of the Bronze Palace. After she realized what he meant, her pretty face froze. Huh? Her eyes widened in disbelief. Are you alright? You actually dared to attack the spirit of the Bronze Palace, and even dared to plot against it. Are you out of your mind? Xiao Ye waved the rule-level soul-capturing pearl in his hand. Would I do something I wasn't sure of? Mu Qingsu opened her mouth, paused for 2 seconds, and then replied, I'll cooperate with you. A flash of white light appeared. The two appeared on the top floor of the Bronze Palace, the 10th floor. Outside the teleportation array was a huge, bluish-gray hall. The hall was vast and boundless, but at a glance, one could vaguely see the top of the tower tens of thousands of meters above. Above the hall, countless visible forces of rule flowed out from the top of the tower like water, flowing in all directions and disappearing into the ground. Xiao Ye stepped out of the teleportation array, his hands tightly gripping the soul-capturing pearl. Mu Qingsu's little face was a little nervous. She followed him eagerly, not daring to be a little temperamental. Outside the teleportation array stood an altar, exuding an ancient and profound aura. The place was deserted. The two waited a short while before the altar, but no virtual screen appeared, and no instructions were given regarding the trial content of this level. The 10th level. Most likely the top of the bronze hall. The artifact spirit must be on this level, Xiao Ye speculated. Looking around, Mu Qingsu sensed the surroundings. Where's the artifact spirit? It doesn't seem to be here. Xiao Ye, should we go back? The bronze hall is a high-level spiritual artifact, we can't mess with its spirit. Xiao Ye laughed. What, are you chickening out? Mu Qingsu stamped her foot urgently, a slight mistake and worded. This isn't chickening out, it's being wise. Xiao Ye shook his head, mustered his strength, and amplified his voice, shouting loudly, Old artifact spirit, it's time to come out and greet our guests. The voice, amplified by the energy, resounded throughout the entire hall, echoing continuously. Mu Qingsu's beautiful eyes widened. Knowing it was dangerous, he actually called him out. She said speechlessly, You're really bold, really not afraid of death. Xiao Ye smiled wickedly. Buzzing. A gust of wind arose around them, and an aged but resonant voice rang out. Who do we have here? It's you, young friend Xie Meng. A tall, white-haired old man appeared in the altar with a smile, then flashed to appear before Xiao Ye. Mu Qingsu ran behind Xiao Ye, blinking her beautiful eyes curiously at the old man. The Bronze Palace spirit was a super monster that had survived from ancient times. In the tiny fragment of memories she inherited from her previous life, the Bronze Palace spirit possessed at least the combat power of a quasi-emperor, a level higher than her saint-level combat power in her previous life. Inside the Bronze Palace, the ancient spirit might even be able to unleash emperor-level combat power. Such combat power would be enough to dominate the world outside. Perhaps sensing the danger, the old spirit's previously smiling face changed, becoming quite grim. His gaze, dark and brooding, swept over the soul-capturing pearl in Xiao Ye's hand, the source of the danger. The old spirit was shocked, exclaiming in astonishment, "Soul-capturing pearl? This is a soul-capturing pearl. You actually possess a soul-capturing pearl." He gasped, truly worthy of being a chosen one, a core of destiny born from heaven and earth. Able to turn the tide in dire straits, capable of a last-minute counterattack, and reborn after death, destined to become the strongest. Xiao Ye was somewhat surprised. This spirit actually recognized the soul-capturing pearl. He immediately activated the soul-capturing pearl's soul-absorbing function, pushing it to its maximum power. Boom! A dazzling light erupted from the soul-capturing pearl. "Wait! Young friend, if you wish to subdue me, there's no need for such painstaking effort in wasting the soul-capturing pearl's energy. I will voluntarily acknowledge you as my master," the old spirit's aged voice rang out. Xiao Ye scoffed, "You think I'd believe that?" A dazzling light instantly erupted, filling the entire 10th level hall and illuminating every corner, leaving no darkness behind. The old spirit didn't even flinch, readily lowering its defenses. It was directly absorbed into the soul power space by the soul-capturing pearl. The dazzling light dissipated, and the scene returned to normal. Xiao Ye and Mu Qingsu were both somewhat dumbfounded. That's it? So easily subdued? Inside the soul power space, the old artifact spirit looked around at the surrounding space, a hint of nostalgia in his eyes, and said, "Coming here again, it really brings back memories. I am not an innate artifact spirit born from the Bronze Palace. My true identity is the young patriarch of the Tang family lineage in ancient times. After the destruction of the ancient era, I also perished, but my soul was absorbed into the soul-absorbing pearl. Only the soul power space kept my soul from dying. Finally, with the help of the family patriarch, I merged with the Bronze Palace, becoming its artifact spirit. As long as the Bronze Palace is not destroyed, I will not perish. I am essentially immortal, which is why I have survived to this day. The soul-absorbing pearl is of a higher level than the Bronze Palace, possessing an innate absolute suppression of a soul being like mine. I cannot escape its absorption. Therefore, young friend, if you wish to subdue me, I can acknowledge you as my master." Chapter 293 Quasi-Emperor Artifact Spirit recognizes as master and takes control of the Bronze Palace. Seeing the elder spirit's decisiveness, Xiao Ye was somewhat surprised and immediately asked curiously, "In ancient times, there was a soul-capturing pearl. Is it the one I have?" The elder spirit, recalling the dazzling power of rules just now, the immobilized soul body, and the surrounding soul power space, hesitated, saying, "Perhaps not. The soul-capturing pearl from ancient times was only at the quasi-emperor level. But your soul-capturing pearl has perfect and flawless power of rules, and its soul power space is a self-contained world. It's a perfect rule-level soul-capturing pearl, which is also a perfect emperor-level soul-capturing pearl. Emperor level, which is rule level. The Bronze Palace has only half-stepped into the rule level, and its power of rules is very thin and weak. To be precise, it can only be considered a perfect quasi-emperor level. Because Xiao Ye hadn't shielded the soundproofing of his soul power space, Mu Qingsu could also hear the elder spirit's words. A perfect rule-level soul-capturing pearl. She was utterly shocked, staring at the fist-sized bead in Xiao Ye's hand. She then scrutinized Xiao Ye from head to toe. Not only could he solve the template problem, but he also possessed a top-tier treasure she had never even had in her previous life. She found Xiao Ye increasingly unfathomable. He seemed shrouded in a veil of noble mystery, obscuring her true nature. Mu Qingsu approached Xiao Ye, her beautiful eyes fixed on his, observing his reaction, and pressed, "Xiao Ye, are you the reincarnation of an old monster? You have the body of an 18-year-old, but inside you resides an old man who has lived for countless millennia. Xiao Ye's face darkened, and he flicked her forehead. Mu Qingsu winced, clutching her head, and protested, "Why did you hit me?" Xiao Ye said speechlessly, "Don't you have any idea who the reincarnation of the old monster really is?" His tone was firm. Mu Qingsu's eyes widened, and she pointed a trembling finger at him, stammering, You, how did you know? You already knew I was a reincarnation, didn't you?" Xiao Ye nodded. At this moment, Mu Qingsu felt completely naked, even her underwear was exposed. She had no coverings, no secrets whatsoever. Xiao Ye said irritably, "All right, no matter whose reincarnation you are, I only recognize you, Mu Qingsu. Stop thinking nonsense, business is more important. I'm not some reincarnated old monster. I'm just Xiao Ye, just a bit luckier." Mu Qingsu's emotions were difficult to calm, her curiosity about Xiao Ye was growing stronger. Xiao Ye probed the soul power space with his divine sense and said, "Old spirit, I'll give you two choices. First, sign a slave contract with me, then transfer control of the Bronze Palace, and you'll swear an oath never to betray me. Second, I'll purify you, erase your consciousness, and return the Bronze Palace to a state of being ownerless." The old spirit could already foresee the days when he would be controlled and commanded, but compared to true death, he preferred to be controlled. Therefore, he stated the decision he had already made, "I'm willing to acknowledge you as my master, and I can also command the Bronze Palace to acknowledge you as its master." Xiao Ye smiled, "You're very straightforward and sensible." The old spirit also laughed heartily, "I'm not an indecisive person, nor am I the kind of stubborn, inflexible old fogey. Young friend, you can sign the slave contract whenever you want." A slave contract, unlike a beast girl contract, is an extremely unequal contract. After signing a slave contract, the master can activate the contract's laws with a single thought, causing the slave to vanish into nothingness. According to the slave contract, the master can sense the slave's good or evil intentions. If the slave intends to attack the master, the contract will issue a warning, and the master will sense the evil intent, allowing the master to instantly kill the slave. Xiao Ye was overjoyed and said, "Let's conclude the slave contract now. Once the old spirit is captured, taking down the Bronze Palace will be a breeze. Completing the system task will grant the system reward, improving the template upgrade function of the template adjuster." Xiao Ye threw the prepared contract scroll into his soul power space. The old spirit looked at the contract scroll and activated it without hesitation, allowing the contract laws within to linger on his soul body. After a flash of light, the contract scroll returned to calm and was back in Xiao Ye's hand. After examining it and finding no problems, Xiao Ye dripped a drop of blood essence from his finger onto the contract scroll. Buzz! Blue light appeared, and the power of laws emerged from the void, linking Xiao Ye and the old spirit in his soul power space. Soon after, the contract was successfully signed. Xiao Ye sensed something and felt a sense of control over the old spirit, absolute control. With a mere thought, he could restrict the old spirit's cultivation level, imprison its soul power, or even kill it. However, in his perception, the old spirit showed no malice towards him, and the slave contract offered no warning, so Xiao Ye didn't restrain it. After releasing the old spirit, Mu Qingsu's expression changed, and she dashed to Xiao Ye's side. The old spirit knelt on one knee, clasped his hands, and said, "Slave Tang Hao greets Master. From now on, Tang Hao exists because of Master. The direction Master points will be where I strive. Here, I, Tang Hao, swear an oath of law, never to betray you. If I break this oath, my soul will perish." Xiao Ye was very satisfied with his attitude. He went over and helped him up, patted his shoulder, and said, "You're very good. I like you very much. Now, transfer control of the Bronze Palace." The old spirit Tang Hao nodded and said, "I will take Master to the core hub space of the Bronze Palace." Seeing that Mu Qingsu was still hiding behind, Xiao Ye flicked her forehead and said, "Mu Qingsu, are you chickening out?" After seeing that the old spirit was no longer a threat, Mu Qingsu stepped forward, raised her head, puffed out her not-so-high chest, and said arrogantly, "Who's chickening out? I'm Mu Qingsu, how could I be?" Xiao Ye's lips twitched. He ignored her and said, "Xiao Hao, take us to the core space." The old spirit waved his hand, and a blue portal appeared, leading the two into it. The environment shifted, and the three found themselves in a void. At the center of this void was an irregular chaotic energy body, emanating chains of rules belonging to the Bronze Palace. Tang Hao said, "This is the core of the Bronze Palace, but it hasn't developed sentience. I'll transfer control to you now." After transferring control, Tang Hao was no longer the spirit of the Bronze Palace. Without the Bronze Palace's support, even a quasi-emperor-level soul would gradually reach the end of its lifespan under the erosion of time. Xiao Ye nodded. He recognized this kind of space in the core space of the Holy Spirit realm and knew Tang Hao wasn't lying. Immediately, Tang Hao released control of the Bronze Palace and transferred it to Xiao Ye. "Congratulations, host, on completing the mission. Mission rewards are being distributed. Successfully distributed and placed in the system space. Please check promptly." Chapter 294 yielded a bountiful harvest, over 40 supreme treasures, including the Enlightenment Tea. Xiao Ye was overjoyed. This trip had been incredibly fruitful. Not only had he conquered the Bronze Palace and completed his mission, but he had also formed a contract with a powerful soul slave at the quasi-emperor level. Moreover, the emperor-level medical inheritance was now his. It was like shooting 4 birds with one arrow, piercing their hearts. After establishing a contract with the irregular chaotic energy entity, a profound and mysterious feeling arose in his heart. He could sense all angles of the Bronze Palace and manipulate its unique power of rules. He could control everything within the Bronze Palace. Quasi-emperor level perfected Bronze Hall functions, collection of secret realms function, forms its own large domain, capable of capturing and collecting all dimensional secret realms. For each dimensional secret realm captured and collected, the Bronze Hall gains one more level. Catching creatures function, forcefully captures all creatures below the Saint Realm level. Restriction function, can imprison all creatures within the Bronze Hall, confining them within the Bronze Hall and preventing them from escaping the collected dimensional world. Indestructible, quasi-emperor level perfected defensive power. Except for breaking through the internal core space, from the outside, only a single blow can shatter the Bronze Hall tower. These are special functions in addition to basic permissions. At this moment, Mu Kingsu's beautiful eyes lit up. "Xiao Ye, where's the emperor-level medical Dao inheritance? Can we take a look?" "We can." Xiao Ye sensed it for a moment, then led the two into the blue light gate, arriving before the altar on the 10th level of the Bronze Hall. Immediately, Xiao Ye used the Bronze Hall's permissions to activate the altar. A ball of oily green light appeared in the center of the altar, quietly floating. "This is the emperor-level medical inheritance. As long as the conditions are right, one can receive the inheritance," Tang Hao explained. Xiao Ye reached out to touch the oily green light, but his hand passed right through it, as if he had touched air, without causing any reaction. Tang Hao, who was originally a spirit, smiled and explained, "Our Tang family's ancestors set up an emperor-level restriction, a restriction that existed outside the Bronze Hall and was not controlled by it. Only when a medical prodigy with a chaos virus saint body touches it will the restriction automatically dissolve. Moreover, this inheritance can only be received by someone with a chaos virus saint body. As the younger brother of the Tang family's patriarch from ancient times, I cannot receive the inheritance." Xiao Ye withdrew his hand, thoughtfully saying, "So, this inheritance can only be fully effective if received by the kind of saint body you mentioned?" Tang Hao nodded. Mu Kingsu, somewhat skeptical, reached out to grab it, but unsurprisingly, she grasped at empty air. She withdrew her hand dejectedly, saying, "Let's go back. I'm in a hurry to cultivate." Tang Hao reminded her, "Master, the Bronze Palace's most precious resources are stored on this 10th floor. Do you want to take a look?" "Yes, of course." Xiao Ye said impatiently to Mu Kingsu, "Little girl, I'll send you out of the tower now. I'll go out later." He immediately activated his exit privileges, and a blue portal appeared before Mu Kingsu. But upon hearing the word treasure, Mu Kingsu's legs felt like lead, making it difficult to move. Is it appropriate for me to go out alone first? We'll go out together later. Quick, take out the treasure resources and let me see." Her eyes gleamed. Xiao Ye's lips twitched. Then, above the previously empty altar, more than 20 ancient boxes, their surfaces covered in mysterious patterns, appeared. Under the influence of the Bronze Palace's rules, the information about the treasures within the boxes was transmitted into the minds of the three: Supreme Level Detoxification Treasure, Quasi-Saint Level Detoxification Treasure, Saint Level Detoxification Treasure, Supreme Level Body Healing Treasure, Quasi-Saint Level Body Healing Treasure, Saint Level Body Healing Treasure, Supreme Level Body Reconstruction Treasure, Quasi Saint Level Body Reconstruction Treasure, Saint Level Body Reconstruction Treasure. There are also Supreme Level, Quasi Saint Level, and Saint Level Soul Healing Treasures. There are 3 levels in total, including Boundary Breaking Talisman, Soul Type Defense Treasure, Body Type Defense Treasure, 10,000 Poison Pill. There are 8 types in total, each with 3 levels, for a total of 24 treasures. Mu Kingsu's eyes lit up, and with a leap, she grabbed a box of Supreme Level Body Healing Treasures, holding it happily in her arms, saying, Xiao Ye, my Mu family recently donated a body healing treasure, can I take a box? Xiao Ye said no problem, then waved his hand, taking all the treasures into his pocket. Seeing the treasures being taken away, Tang Hao showed no discomfort. Instead, he prompted, Master, after each treasure on each floor of the bronze hall is taken by a trial participant, 2 boxes are teleported here. Now, on each of the 9 floors below, there are 2 boxes of trial rewards. Do you want to collect them? Since my cooperation with the Qin family over 5,000 years ago, the Qin family has sent trial participants here every year. Initially, there were over 3,000 treasures stored here, but now only 20 or 30 remain. If you had come a few years later, Master, there probably wouldn't be any left. Xiao Ye's face darkened. Collect them. You must collect them. The Qin family is truly wasteful, giving away so many treasures. Then, the treasures were teleported up one by one, and Xiao Ye gained 18 more ancient-looking boxes, breaking mirror pills, 3 in total, at the Supreme, Quasi Saint, and Saint levels. 15 boxes of Enlightenment Tea, 5 boxes for each of the Supreme, Quasi Saint, and Saint levels. After storing them all in his system space, he took out a box of Supreme Level Enlightenment Tea. As soon as the box was opened, a rich aroma of tea wafted out, enveloping the 3 of them. Xiao Ye and Mu Kingsu took a couple of sips and immediately felt refreshed and invigorated. Good stuff. No wonder it's the legendary Enlightenment Tea. If we brewed some and drank a couple of sips, we might have an epiphany on the spot. Xiao Ye said with a smile. Perhaps because Tang Hao was a quasi-emperor level soul, he didn't feel anything from the aroma and showed no interest in these treasures. Mu Kingsu swallowed hard, her beautiful eyes fixed on the box with longing, and reached out to grab a few leaves. Xiao Ye stopped her, closed the box, and put it away, saying, Don't rush, there's some for you. Let's make tea together when we get back. Mu Kingsu reluctantly withdrew her hand, saying, Don't lie to me. Xiao Ye's face darkened. Why would I lie to you? This trip ended perfectly, and Xiao Ye planned to return. After suggesting to Tang Hao whether he wanted to come with him, Tang Hao shook his head, saying, I'm used to staying in the Bronze Palace. I don't like the outside world. But if Master gives me orders to go out on business, I'm ready anytime. Xiao Ye nodded, not forcing Tang Hao, and used his authority to open the blue halo, taking Mu Kingsu out of the Bronze Palace. Outside, Yunbing and Qin Tai were still waiting. Qin Tai looked on expectantly, hoping that Xiao Ye would come out quickly to treat his daughter's constitution problem. Little did he know, Xiao Ye had already ransacked the Bronze Palace, and didn't intend to leave the Bronze Palace Tower, which was at the quasi-emperor level. Chapter 295 Qin Tai, the Bronze Palace and my family have a cooperative relationship. Qin Tai asked, Kunpeng Supreme, what do we need to prepare for Mr. Xiao's treatment? I'd like to get it ready before he leaves the tower. Yunbing pondered for a moment, then shook her head and replied, everyone's defects are different, and treatments require different methods. What we need to prepare will only be known after Xiao Ye has personally examined him. Qin Tai nodded and asked again, what kind of food does Mr. Xiao like? I'll have the chef prepare lunch. This time, it was Xiao Ye, Mu Kingsu, and Yunbing who came. Yunbing suggested, just prepare some light dishes. Qin Tai nodded to indicate that he understood, then he left the small world and returned 2 minutes later. The two waited for another 10 minutes or so. Suddenly, a flash of white light appeared. Xiao Ye and Mu Kingsu's figures appeared outside the Bronze Palace Tower. The two went to greet him, and Yunbing asked, did you get the item? Mu Kingsu's pretty face was full of joy. Yes, I got it. Qin Tai hurriedly approached Xiao Ye, thinking that he had only obtained a reward from a certain level of the trial, and smiled. Congratulations, Mr. Xiao, your wish has come true. Xiao Ye felt a little guilty. He had stolen everything from Xiao Ye's house, so what was there to congratulate him about? Qin Tai was anxious to save his daughter and hurriedly said, "Mr. Xiao, would you like to rest for a while and then go check on my daughter's health?" Xiao Ye smiled somewhat guiltily and said, "No rush, I have something else to ask City Lord Qin." He pointed to the massive bronze hall with its towering top. "Is this bronze hall a cooperative relationship with your Qin family? Does it not belong to your Qin family and is it not your Qin family's private property?" Qin Tai was very surprised. "The spirit actually told you all this?" Xiao Ye nodded. Qin Tai admitted, "That's right, the spirit of the Bronze Palace and my ancestor began cooperating 5,000 years ago. To be precise, the Bronze Palace is currently ownerless." Xiao Ye tentatively asked, "If I were to subdue the Bronze Palace, would it belong to me?" Qin Tai laughed heartily, thinking Xiao Ye was joking, and said, "If Mr. Xiao has that ability, the Bronze Palace will naturally belong to you. However, Mr. Xiao shouldn't be overly ambitious. The Bronze Palace is an Emperor-level spiritual artifact. It's impossible to subdue it without reaching the Emperor level. My Qin family ancestor was also a powerful Saint Realm expert, and even he couldn't subdue the Bronze Palace in over 5,000 years." Yunbing watched their conversation thoughtfully. Based on her understanding of Xiao Ye, he wouldn't ask these questions without reason. Suddenly, a startling idea flashed through her mind. Yunbing's beautiful eyes widened in shock, thinking to herself, could it be that Xiao Ye has a way to subdue the Bronze Palace? Hiss! She gasped. This was an Emperor-level spiritual artifact. Even if Xiao Ye had a way to subdue the Bronze Palace, the Qin family would never allow him to take it away. Although Qin Tai claimed the Bronze Palace was ownerless, it had been occupied by the Qin family for 5,000 years. Would they simply hand it over? Impossible. Seeing Qin Tai's dismissive expression, Xiao Ye raised his hand and activated the basic control permissions for the Bronze Palace, allowing the tower's size to be freely adjusted. A buzzing sound rang out, and an astonishing scene unfolded. The massive Bronze Palace tower suddenly trembled, leaping into the air, then rapidly shrinking again, until it was the size of a palm, about 10 centimeters tall. Holy crap! Even the composed City Lord Qin was stunned, uttering a curse. Yunbing was also dumbfounded, gasping in shock. Hiss! I thought he just had a way to subdue it, but he actually subdued it. Mu Qingxu's eyes gleamed with excitement as she stared intently. Xiao Ye raised his hand, and the miniature Bronze Palace tower automatically flew into his palm, standing quietly, exuding a mysterious and imposing aura. This. Qin Tai pointed, his fingers trembling. You actually subdued the Bronze Palace. How is that possible? Xiao Ye laughed. City Lord Qin, since I've subdued the Bronze Palace, it belongs to me. You and your Qin family have no objections, right? Qin Tai's lips twitched, on the verge of tears, unsure how to answer. He had just said that whoever subdued it owned it, but that was just talk, not the truth. At that moment, with a whoosh, dark clouds gathered, and an immense pressure descended from the sky, accompanied by a majestic voice. Which thief dared to steal my Qin family's imperial artifact? Hand over the Bronze Palace, and I'll leave you with a whole corpse. Yunbing's expression changed, and she hurriedly unleashed the full aura and pressure of a supreme 9-star, standing alone in front of Xiao Ye and Mu Qingxu, her expression solemn as she said, "Isn't it a bit inappropriate for you to attack without distinguishing right from wrong?" The white-haired old man in the sky smiled disdainfully. Without wasting any words, a giant handprint of Yuan Qi, 10,000 meters long and wide, descended from the sky, grabbing towards Xiao Ye. It carried a massive airflow and immense pressure, grabbing straight at him. Qin Tai frowned and shouted, "Ancestor, stop. Stop immediately." In Qin Tai's eyes, the Bronze Palace was not as important as his daughter, so Xiao Ye could not die, so even if it meant defying the family ancestor, he was willing to do so. The giant handprint of primordial energy halted in midair. The white-haired elder roared, "Qin Tai, how do you manage family affairs? That little thief stole right in front of you. Are you blind? Why didn't you arrest him? HMPH. Even an emperor-level treasure can be stolen. I think you shouldn't be the clan leader anymore." Qin Tai then secretly transmitted his voice, "Mr. Xiao, I'll save your life. You must heal my daughter." After saying that, he stood in front of Yunbing, facing the giant handprint of primordial energy, his arms outstretched, eyes closed, and said, "Ancestor, the Bronze Palace never belonged to our Qin family. Mr. Xiao was able to subdue it, which means the bronze palace originally belonged to him. If you really want to kill Mr. Xiao, then kill me first. Step over my dead body. The white-haired elder in the sky suddenly turned gloomy and ugly. His chest heaved with anger as he roared, "How could my kin family produce such a spendthrift son like you? Get out of here." With a wave of his hand, Qin Tai was swept away by a force and kicked out of the small world. HMPH. You little thief, prepare to die. The massive handprint of Yuan Qi moved, bringing with it a level 18 gale and the crushing pressure of Mount Tai, heading straight for Yun Bing, Mu Qingsu, and Xiao Ye. If it were to crush them, the three of them would likely be killed instantly, Yun Bing included. A Saint Realm cultivator against a Supreme Realm cultivator was like an adult beating a 3-year-old child. One punch would flatten them. Xiao Ye remained expressionless, inwardly admiring Qin Tai, but harboring no goodwill towards the Qin family patriarch. Xiao Ye directly activated the power of the slave contract, communicating with a quasi-emperor level soul body Tang Hao, summoning him. How, so what if he's a Saint Realm patriarch? Before a quasi-emperor level cultivator, he's utterly vulnerable. Chapter 296. Where did your arrogance go? A mere Saint Realm cultivator dares to attack my master? You're courting death. A deep, ancient voice resounded throughout the heavens and earth, seemingly penetrating the body and reaching the soul, causing everyone's soul to tremble uncontrollably. After this voice rang out, the massive handprint of Yuan Qi in the sky, as imposing as Mount Tai, seemed to be suppressed by a force, then collapsed instantly. The powerful pressure and might on the handprint vanished in an instant, and the Yuan Qi handprint turned into specks of light that dissipated into the air. Who made the move? The Qin family Saint Realm ancestor in the sky looked solemn. The one who made the move was, of course, Tang Hao. Tang Hao, now only a soul, appeared before Xiao Ye, his body solid and tangible, indistinguishable from a normal person. If it weren't for the extremely dense soul power fluctuations, others would have thought he was a normal person, not a soul. Slave Tang Hao pays respects to master. Tang Hao knelt on one knee, clasped his hands, and said. Xiao Ye helped him up, pointed to the figure in the sky, and laughed. That old man is standing too high. Drag him down and give him a beating. Tang Hao nodded. This servant will do it right away. In the sky, the Qin family patriarch looked solemnly at the appearing soul form of Tang Hao, feeling a sense of déjà vu, as if he had seen him somewhere before. This white-haired old man brought him a strong sense of oppression. Whoosh! A flash of white light appeared, and Tang Hao appeared in front of the Qin family patriarch, disdainfully saying, "Oh ho, that supreme trash from back then has become a Saint Realm. Let me see how much skill you have after reaching the Saint Realm." The Saint Realm is the condensation of an attribute body, which allows one to use the power of rules. Quasi-emperors are those who have mastered the use of the power of rules, condensed a body of rules, and begun to communicate with a physical body of rules. Snap! With a sound, Tang Hao's body was covered with the power of rules, and mysterious runes appeared on his feet. He kicked the Qin family patriarch. The rule of power. Before the Qin family patriarch could even react, the protective rules and restrictions on his body were shattered by the kick. With a loud bang, trailing a long tail of flame, he was sent flying backwards towards the ground, crashing to the ground like a falling meteor. He smashed a foundation where the bronze palace had been placed into pieces, his body deeply embedded in the ground. Tang Hao's figure flashed to the edge of the deep pit, his face expressionless. "Stop playing dead, get out of here." Cough cough. The Qin family patriarch coughed up blood, his body filthy and disheveled, floating up and landing in front of Tang Hao. He exclaimed, "I remember now, you are the spirit of the bronze palace. Junior Qin Feng greets Senior Tang." Tang Hao curled his lip disdainfully. "You do have some sense, but don't think that just because you call me senior, I'll let you off the hook. You know you've angered my master." Coughing up blood, the Qin family patriarch frowned. "Senior, have you truly acknowledged that young man as your master? Has the bronze palace simply submitted to him?" Tang Hao nodded, impatiently replying, "So what if I have? What, do you want to seize the bronze palace by force?" The Qin family patriarch was somewhat embarrassed, scratching his head, his face turning awkward. He replied, "Of course not. What virtue or ability does my Qin family possess to seize the bronze palace by force?" Tang Hao grabbed him by the collar and threw him down in front of Xiao Ye like a dead dog, kicking him and threatening, "Apologize to my master. You know what to do, right?" The Qin family patriarch, completely devoid of his initial imposing aura, looked like a drowned rat, his spirits waning. He said softly, "Young man, Qin Feng, was reckless. I apologize for my actions just now. Since you've subdued the Bronze Palace, you can take it away as you please. My Qin family has no right to interfere." He expressed his attitude, admitting defeat. Xiao Ye's lips twitched. "Weren't you so arrogant just now? Where did that cocky attitude go?" Yunbing's beautiful eyes curiously scanned Tang Hao from head to toe, surprised to find that this person was actually in a soul form, and every move he made could elicit a response from the power rules of heaven and earth. This power seemed flawless, all contained within one's body, simplifying complexity. Every movement resonated with the laws of heaven and earth, yet it didn't affect the surroundings in the slightest, as if achieving ultimate simplicity. Damn. This person is at least at the peak of the saint realm, or even possibly a quasi-emperor. Yunbing was shocked, her beautiful eyes widening, her face blank. Tang Hao clasped his hands and asked, "Master, what should we do with this saint realm expert? Should we cripple him or kill him?" The Qin family patriarch, lying prone, shivered and hurriedly begged for mercy. "Senior, young man, don't kill me." Outside, Qin Tai, the city lord of Jinling City, paced anxiously in the main hall of the city lord's mansion, his expression furious. "Mr. Xiao, you'd better be alright. Ancestor, please have mercy. Xie is still waiting for Mr. Xiao's treatment. We've searched for over 10 years without a solution. We finally found someone who can solve Xie's constitution problem. If he's killed by our own ancestor, and in front of me, I'll be ashamed of Xie for the rest of my life." Suddenly, a force swept out from the void, enveloping Qin Tai and breaking through the boundary to enter the dimensional small world. "Don't kill me, I'm willing to make compensation." As soon as Qin Tai entered, he heard his ancestor pleading with Xiao Ye, crawling on all fours, looking utterly disheveled. In contrast, Xiao Ye was calm and composed, impeccably dressed, even his hair was perfectly styled. Qin Tai was dumbfounded. What was going on? Qin Tai rubbed his eyes in disbelief, thinking he was seeing things. After rubbing his eyes, he looked again, and the scene was still the same. His ancestor was begging like a dead dog. Seeing Qin Tai standing there in a daze, the Qin family patriarch glared at him. "Boy, aren't you going to plead for me? Do you want to see your patriarch die in your own family's small world?" A force swept out, forcing Qin Tai to kneel before Xiao Ye, completely bewildered. Xiao Ye's lips twitched, and he quickly helped Qin Tai up, saying to the Qin family patriarch with displeasure, "Get out of here. I don't want to see you again." Xiao Ye held Qin Tai in high esteem and respect for him, who had risked his life to protect him. The Qin family patriarch was overjoyed. He glanced at Tang Hao, and seeing that Tang Hao wasn't impatient, he quickly transformed into a beam of light and vanished. Tang Hao clasped his hands and said, "Master, the matter is resolved. This servant is returning to the Bronze Palace." Xiao Ye nodded. A minute later, Qin Tai led Xiao Ye, Yunbing, and Mu Qingxia towards Qin Zier's villa, expressing his gratitude as they walked. "Thank you, Mr. Xiao, for sparing my ancestor's life. Mr. Xiao, you have such a grand vision at such a young age. You are destined to be an outstanding person, achieving legendary success." Xiao Ye smiled and said, "Then I'll take your kind words." Yunbing interjected, "No need for the future, he is already an outstanding person now, capable of handling things independently. Even I, the Supreme One, am inferior to him." Qin Tai laughed heartily, "Indeed." Upon arriving at Qin Zier's residence, the villa gate opened, revealing the stunningly beautiful and gentle-tempered young woman, Qin Zier. Xiao Ye immediately activated the template adjustment detection function. Chapter 297 Auspicious Omens and Curses. SSS Rank Void Beast Template, Template Defect. Upon awakening, it only absorbed fragments of auspicious and cursed rules, completely lacking fragments of creation type rules. This makes it unable to neutralize the two mutually restraining rule types, resulting in extreme instability and potential leakage of both rule powers. Solution: use the template adjuster to remove excess fragments of auspicious and cursed rules, and fuse two crystallized fragments of creation type rules to neutralize the two mutually restraining rules. Body defect: due to the leakage of rule power caused by the template defect, the body is filled with auspicious and cursed power. Contact with others will uncontrollably cause them to become tainted with both cursed and auspicious power, triggering curses and good fortune. Solution: to completely eradicate the problem, the template issue needs to be addressed. A temporary solution involves using acupressure massage combined with a Zhuan Huang gem to absorb the leaked rule power. The information entered Xiao Ye's mind, and he already knew the girl's template information and the solution to the problem. Xiao Ye stared intently at her, making Qin Zhe feel as if she had been seen naked. Her pretty face flushed, and she took a step back, saying, "You're Mr. Xiao?" Qin Zhe had a deep impression of Xiao Ye. The first time they met, she drank the stream water where he had urinated, and later fell into the water, getting completely soaked. In the end, not wanting him to die because of her, she secretly gave him a breakthrough token. Xiao Ye didn't reply, as he was checking his messages. Seeing Xiao Ye staring at another beautiful woman without any attempt to hide it, Mu Kingsu kicked him, displeased. "What are you looking at? Haven't you ever seen a woman before?" Yun Bing felt this scene was familiar. When she first met Xiao Ye in Mengxuan Base City, he had also stared intently at her, completely absorbed. "HMPH. Yun Bing said sternly. "You really are a lecherous old man, unable to move when you see a beautiful woman." Xiao Ye snapped out of his daze, his face darkening. He slapped their leather drums hard with one hand each, saying, "I'm observing Miss Qin's physical condition. What are you all thinking? Am I the kind of man who thinks with his lower body?" Mu Kingsu, "You are." Yun Bing, "Yes, you are." Hearing everyone's words, Qin Zhe dashed behind the sofa, only her small head peeking out. Qin Tai laughed and said, "Young people love to joke, I understand. Zhe, come out quickly, don't hide there. Mr. Xiao was just observing your condition, he had no improper thoughts about you. Besides, Mr. Xiao has 4 beast girls at home who are just as beautiful as you. He must be immune to beautiful women by now, how could he be unable to resist them?" Xiao Ye smiled, "Uncle Qin understands me best." Seeing Qin Zhe still hiding behind the sofa, Qin Tai personally went over and pulled her over, forcibly placing her in front of Xiao Ye, pleading, "Mr. Xiao, what do you need to do to diagnose the condition? My daughter will fully cooperate with you, and I will fully assist you." Mu Kingsu's eyes were skeptical. Could he really see anything? Yun Bing's beautiful eyes gleamed. She guessed Xiao Ye was already confident, just like before. Xiao Ye raised his hand and grasped Qin Zhe's soft, white hand, gently squeezing it, feeling its plumpness and delicate skin. With a sudden whoosh, Qin Zhe's pretty face flushed crimson, all the way to her ears, at being touched like this for the first time by someone her age. Xiao Ye held her small, fair hand, his brow furrowing occasionally, sometimes worried, sometimes raised, as if genuinely observing the illness. In reality, he was just putting on an act, he already knew what the problem was and how to solve it. Everyone watched quietly as Xiao Ye continued to hold that delicate hand. Mu Kingsu increasingly felt that Xiao Ye was taking advantage of her. Yun Bing, however, didn't see anything wrong with it. Qin Tai's attention was focused on Xiao Ye's expressions, watching him furrow his brow, sometimes worry, sometimes raise his eyebrow, making his heart flutter with anxiety. 10 minutes later, Xiao Ye had played with her enough. No, he felt the time was almost up, so he released Qin Zhe's small, reddened hand, put his hands behind his back, and said to Qin Tai with a serious expression, "It's very difficult. There's almost no good solution." Qin Tai's eyes lit up, and he said with great joy, "Mr. Xiao, according to you, is there a solution to Zhe's constitution problem?" Xiao Ye replied, "Yes." Qin Tai was overjoyed and exclaimed with delight, "Zhe, your constitution problem can be cured." Qin Zhe smiled happily, her eyes crinkling into crescent moons. Xiao Ye's lips twitched, it seemed his expression had been wasted. He could only say, "Uncle Qin, Miss Qin's constitution problem is caused by a leak of 2 kinds of rule power due to a template issue. One is auspicious rule power, and the other is curse rule power. Those who come into contact with your daughter may be tainted by the curse power and become cursed, or they may be tainted by the auspicious power and become blessed. It's not as you say, that contact with Miss Qin will only bring bad luck." Everyone was shocked to hear this. Qin Tai's eyes widened. Qin Zhe's mouth gaped open. There were actually 2 kinds of power of rules. Those who came into contact with her would not only be tainted with bad luck, but might also be tainted with good luck. Slap. Qin Tai slapped his thigh. He interacted with Qin Zhe every day, and upon careful consideration, it was indeed true. No wonder I sometimes have inexplicably good luck, and problems are solved before I even have to do anything, while other times I'm incredibly unlucky, even drinking water can cause me trouble. So it turns out that Xie carries two completely opposite kinds of luck. I see. Mu Qingsu looked at Xiao Ye with surprise, carefully examining him from head to toe. She felt that Xiao Ye was becoming more and more mysterious, and she was becoming more and more curious about him, falling deeper and deeper into his trap. Xiao Ye smiled and said, "Currently, there are two solutions. First, to completely resolve your daughter's constitution problem, 2 creation-type rule fragment crystals are needed. Second, to temporarily resolve the constitution problem, allowing your daughter to be as normal as a normal person for a week, I will need to use a secret massage technique combined with special methods to calm and eliminate the disordered rule power within your daughter's body." Qin Tai was overjoyed, his smile spreading across his face. All the shackles in his heart were released, and he clasped his hands in praise. Mr. Xiao is truly talented. To possess such innate ability at such a young age surpasses those so-called medical families 1,000-fold. I admire you greatly. Rule fragment crystals are resources for Saint Realm cultivation, and creation-type rules are basic rules. My ancestor should have some, I'll ask him for them now. He opened a circular halo space passage and entered the small world. A minute later, he emerged looking disheveled and dejected. My ancestor is seriously injured and in seclusion. It will probably be some time before he emerges. Mr. Xiao, could you temporarily resolve my daughter's physical condition issue? After my ancestor emerges, I will apply for 2 creation-type rule fragment crystals to completely cure Xie's template problem. Xiao Ye's lips twitched. The Qin family ancestor was kicked hard by Tang Hao, plunging him from 10,000 meters into the ground, and he was seriously injured? Of course, no problem. Xiao Ye replied with a smile. Then please have Miss Qin Xie strip naked and wait for me on the bed. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 298 Solving Qin Xie's Physical Defect. Qin Tai was delighted and urged, "Xie, do as Mr. Xiao says and cooperate fully with him." Moonlight? Qin Xie blushed deeply and whispered, "Father, he wants me to wait for him in bed." Moonlight. None of the medical experts who treated me before made me take off my clothes. Qin Tai scolded, "Those quacks, can they compare to Mr. Xiao?" Xie, hurry up and go. Don't be shy, Mr. Xiao is trying to solve your health problems, not to take advantage of you. Qin Xie muttered softly, "Fine, I'll go." She awkwardly shuffled towards the bedroom. Halfway there, Qin Tai called out again, "Wait. Go take a shower first, get clean, and then let Mr. Xiao treat you, so your body odor won't affect the treatment." Qin Xie was a little annoyed, clenched her fists, and retorted somewhat aggrievedly, "Dad, I just took a shower last week, okay? And I didn't sweat, my body smells good, not smelly." Qin Tai said expressionlessly, "Do you still want to get your constitution problem treated?" "Of course I do." Qin Xie pouted and had no choice but to obediently go into the bathroom to start showering. Qin Tai smiled and said to Xiao Ye, "Mr. Xiao, what resources and materials do you need? I'll go prepare them right away." Xiao Ye waved his hand, "No need for those, I can handle it myself." Qin Tai's eyes lit up, and he admired Xiao Ye even more, praising him sincerely. Mr. Xiao is truly talented. He doesn't come from a family of doctors, yet he surpasses all of them. If those great doctors came, they would put on airs and act arrogantly, always demanding this or that. People with medical ethics are rare. Mu Qingsu and Yunbing looked at Xiao Ye with some resentment. They had both experienced being massaged by Xiao Ye. Although Xiao Ye wasn't trying to take advantage, he still managed to get the biggest advantage. Half an hour later, the bathroom door opened, and Qin Xie, wearing a cartoon pajama, walked out from the white mist. Her long black hair was draped over her shoulders, her delicate face was pink and tender, and her pure eyes revealed nervousness and fear as she walked out step by step. The image of a beautiful woman emerging from her bath left Mu Qingsu and Yunbing speechless. "I'm even tempted. Oh no, will Xiao Ye get another beast girl?" Qin Xie and Xiao Ye were both pushed into the bedroom by Qin Tai, who closed and locked the door. He called out from outside, "Xie, cooperate fully with Mr. Xiao. Whatever he asks you to do, do it. This concerns whether your physical condition can be resolved. Don't be stubborn or shy." Inside the bedroom, Qin Xie's pretty face was flushed. Stared at directly by Xiao Ye, she felt a little awkward and whispered, "Could you turn around? I need to take off my clothes. I'm afraid to do it while you're watching." Of course, Xiao Ye turned his head. 2 or 3 seconds later, a rustling sound came, and 2 minutes later, Qinzhi's slightly nervous yet melodious voice rang out, "Mr. Xiao, I'm ready, you can go ahead." Xiao Ye took out a Zhuanghuang gem, extracted the massage technique from the template adjuster that provided a temporary solution for Qinzhi, and then looked her up and down. The massage technique varied slightly depending on each person's physical imperfections, so he needed to familiarize himself with it first, rehearsing it in his mind several times before putting it into practice. Under Xiao Ye's direct gaze, Qinzhi's pretty face flushed crimson, her entire face turning bright red. She grabbed a pillow to cover her blushing, almost steaming face and nervously asked, "Does it look good?" Xiao Ye subconsciously replied, "It looks good." Ugh! White steam rose from Qinzhi's head, she was blushing with embarrassment. 10 minutes later, Xiao Ye finally finished his practice and felt ready to begin. He moved the pillow Qinzhi had placed on her face, looked directly into her large eyes, and said, "This pillow is in the way, I've removed it. Now, I'm going to start the secret massage." Ah! Qinzhi was taken aback when Xiao Ye's handsome face came into view. Okay. Then, Xiao Ye began to massage according to the steps of the secret massage technique. Her skin was very tender, smooth, and soft to the touch, 128 acupoints on both sides of the 12 primary meridians, plus 52 single acupoints on the Ren and Du meridians, plus 160 extra meridian acupoints, and 72 radiation areas. As Xiao Ye connected each acupoint, mysterious runes emerged from the void and were imprinted on Qinzhi's body. These mysterious runes possessed profound and unknown power, drawing out the unstable rule power hidden deep within Qinzhi's genes. The Zhuanghuang gemstone radiated light, continuously absorbing the violent rule power that had been drawn out. Auspicious rule power and curse rule power. Xiao Ye massaged Qinzhi's body, starting from her head, moving to her torso, limbs, and feet. After all the acupoints in the secret method were fully connected according to specific steps and routes, Qinzhi's body was covered in runes. Under the influence of these mysterious runes, wisps of turbulent rule power constantly surged from her body. If this turbulent rule power were allowed to dissipate, the city lord's mansion would likely become an inaccessible forbidden zone. However, the rule-level Zhuanghuang gemstone shone brightly, absorbing the turbulent rule power the moment it appeared. An hour later, Xiao Ye stopped, beads of sweat forming on his forehead. He put away the Zhuanghuang gemstone and looked at Qinzhi, saying, "This stable state can last about a week if you don't cultivate or fight. Alright, this treatment is over. Your physical problems have been temporarily resolved." With that, Xiao Ye turned and walked towards the bedroom door without looking back, intending to leave, but the door was locked from the inside. A minute later, Xiao Ye left the bedroom, closed the door, and encountered Qin Tai, who was anxiously waiting. Qin Tai rushed forward and asked, "Mr. Xiao, how is the situation?" Xiao Ye smiled, "With my help, Miss Qin's physical problems were naturally resolved. Within a week, she was no different from a normal person." Qin Tai was overjoyed and didn't doubt Xiao Ye's words. He held Xiao Ye's hand and bowed repeatedly in gratitude, his gratitude clearly visible to anyone. Thank you so much, Mr. Xiao. Mr. Xiao is truly talented. From now on, Mr. Xiao is the great benefactor of my Qin family, a guest of honor for generations to come. Mr. Xiao, whatever reward you need, just name it, and as long as I have it, I will give it to you." Xiao Ye waved his hand, "I've already received the reward. You just need to break the family rules and send us into the bronze hall." At this moment, Yunbing and Mu Qingsu attacked from behind, pulling Xiao Ye to a corner. Mu Qingsu put her hands on her hips and said, "Isn't she older than me?" Xiao Ye thought for a moment and nodded. Mu Qingsu's beautiful eyes widened. Yunbing smiled faintly and said, "Does it feel good to touch? Is it more comfortable to massage me or to massage Qinzhi?" Xiao Ye pointed to the fine sweat on his forehead and complained, "Comfortable my ass, it's exhausting, okay? I'm sweating. Are you blind?" Chapter 299 Offering myself in return! Exclamation mark. The two women looked at his forehead simultaneously, and sure enough, his broad forehead was covered with fine beads of sweat. Xiao Ye complained, "See that? Alright, we know. Honestly, you don't even wipe your sweat off." Mu Qingsu took a handkerchief from her bosom and tossed it to Xiao Ye. "Hurry up and wipe your sweat." The handkerchief landed on his face, and Xiao Ye smelled a pleasant fragrance. He couldn't help but sniff it a couple more times, then roughly rubbed his forehead a couple of times before tossing the handkerchief back to Mu Qingsu. He asked curiously, "This handkerchief smells quite nice. Did you wear perfume?" Mu Qingsu took back the handkerchief, tilted her head back proudly, and said, "Do I need to wear perfume? That's my natural scent. I use this handkerchief to wipe my feet." Xiao Ye's face darkened. Yunbing chuckled and rolled her eyes. "This trip is over. We should go back now." At this moment, Qinzi and Qin Tai, dressed in a flowing white dress with wide sleeves, walked over. Their faces were beaming with joy. Xiao Ye asked, "Miss Qin, how are you feeling?" Qinzi's pretty face beamed with joy. "I don't feel anything special, but my father sensed it and the faint threat I felt was completely gone. I can live like a normal person now." Xiao Ye smiled. "In that case, Uncle Qin, Miss Qin, we'll take our leave. See you again someday." With that, Yunbing opened a special rift, preparing to take Xiao Ye and Mu Qingsu away from Jinling City and back to the magic capital base city. The moment Xiao Ye stepped into the special rift, Qinzi cried out, "Xiao Ye, I will repay you." Xiao Ye jokingly replied, "How will you repay me? With your body?" His magnetic voice echoed in the villa as he stepped into the special passage and disappeared. Qinzi's face flushed red, thinking to herself, "You've seen everything, I'm no longer innocent. Offering myself to you isn't out of the question." Qin Tai laughed, "Zir, if you like him, marrying him is a good option. The template problem can be solved. You don't necessarily have to marry the young master of the Yi family in the capital." Qinzi seemed thoughtful. Meanwhile, in Villa Number 2 of the Lakeview Villa District, the Vice Dean's villa, a tearing sound appeared on the ground floor, revealing a dark, 2-meter-high, half-meter-wide special rift. Yunbing, Xiao Ye, and Mu Qingsu emerged from it. Upon returning, Yunbing slapped her forehead, exclaiming, "Right, where did my sister go? She didn't even attend yesterday's wedding. Does she even care about me, her twin sister?" The powerful high-level supreme divine sense swept out, directly penetrating Villa Number 1, not far from Villa Number 2. But before she could see the situation inside, thump, her divine sense was ejected. Yunbing grumbled, somewhat resentfully, "What's Yunzai up to now? So secretive. I have to go see." "Sister Yunzai is attempting to break through to the Saint Realm," Xiao Ye said, pulling her back. "Don't disturb her." Yunbing's eyes widened. Saint Realm? Did she just advance to Quasi-Saint? Mu Qingsu was also surprised. If she remembered correctly, Yunzai Supreme was at the same level as her father, Mu Chang, not long ago. She had recently broken through to the Quasi-Saint Realm, and now she's already attempting to break through to the Saint Realm. Yunbing narrowed her eyes, a sharp glint in them, and stared dangerously at Xiao Ye, interrogating him. "Xiao Ye, did you secretly upgrade my sister's template? That's why her breakthrough speed is so abnormal. Have you been eyeing my sister for a long time, wanting to take both of us sisters down?" Xiao Ye shook his head violently. "No way, don't talk nonsense. Alright, stop fooling around. I obtained rare resources in the Bronze Palace that can improve the secret method of upgrading templates, allowing you to maintain your original cultivation level after upgrading your templates." Hearing this, Mu Qingsu and Yunbing were overjoyed, especially Yunbing, who instantly forgot about Yunzai and exclaimed in surprise, "Are you telling the truth?" Xiao Ye nodded. Looking at that handsome face, Yunbing took a step forward and leaned in, planting a lip print on his left cheek, saying, "Xiao Ye, you're amazing, I love you so much." Mu Qingsu wasn't to be outdone, giving him a light kiss on his right cheek, then said haughtily, "Seeing how hard you worked to subdue the Bronze Palace, this is a reward for you. Just this once, I didn't really want to kiss you." Xiao Ye touched his face and immediately took out the cosmic level, origin of order, energy body from his system space. This energy body had no shape, just a chaotic mass. "Here. Look, this is it." Xiao Ye waved the energy body in his hand. Mu Qingsu and Yunbing, however, looked completely bewildered, unable to see anything in his hand, only his right hand waving around as if he were holding something. "There's nothing there." "Exactly, even I, a high-level supreme being, can't see it, and my divine sense can't scan it either." Xiao Ye was somewhat taken aback, looking at the irregular chaotic energy body in his hand. How could they not see something so obvious? Xiao Ye's lips twitched. Perhaps your level is too low. It's like encountering something but not being able to see it, touch it, grasp it, or subdue it. He clapped his hands, sending the irregular energy body into the system space. He then moved it towards the cosmic level template adjuster within the system space and issued a command to fuse with the origin of order and improve the template upgrade function. Template adjuster function under improvement. Detection function can detect template information. Extraction function can extract rule fragments from templates within magical beasts. Template repair function repairs any defective template. Template upgrade function uses resources to upgrade the template level. Function under improvement. 1%, 2%, 4%. Watching the progress bar slowly increase, Xiao Ye was very satisfied. He only needed to wait a short while. We've got the timer-related rule fragments. Next up is the reincarnation-related rule fragments. Mu Kingsu smiled wryly, saying, but reincarnation-type magical beasts are as rare as timer-related ones. Where do they exist in the present era? Yun Bing frowned and thought, I know where they are. The 4 super families in the capital have these rare attribute magical beasts kept in captivity. But I've never had any dealings with the 4 families in the capital, and I don't have any connections in this area. It's almost impossible for them to open a small world for us to kill a few magical beasts. Mu Kingsu bit her lower lip, then let's not upgrade my template yet, upgrade Sister Yun Bing's template first. As for the reincarnation-type magical beasts, we'll do it later. Yun Bing said helplessly, that's the only way. Then, Xiao Ye opened the circular halo gate, leading to the boundary space portal of the Holy Spirit's secret realm. On the southern side of a mountain range at the edge of the Holy Spirit's secret realm, Xiao Ye and his companions appeared. This was the stronghold of space-type magical beasts, inhabited by 400 or 500 of them. Chapter 300 Harvesting Space-type Rule Fragments and Crystals. Space-type gibbons, space-type apes, and a space-type monkey king. Several types of monkeys, all with space-type attributes. After Yunxi captured these space-type magical beasts from the Mu family's territory, they re-established their base here, settling and breeding. The appearance of Xiao Ye and his companions disrupted the monkey troops' peace, making them restless and uneasy. The monkey guards immediately reported to the Monkey King, and orderly ranks circled around, surrounding Xiao Ye and his companions 3 or 4 times. Mu Kingsu looked at these orderly and agile space-type magical beasts, her expression somewhat complicated. These used to belong to her family. Xiao Ye used his special perception to sense the area and said, there are over 100 grandmasters, over 200 venerables, 70 or 80 great venerables, and 9 monkey kings and elder monkeys at the peak of the great venerable realm. There are about 500 of them in total. We only need to kill 30 to 40 grandmaster level magical beasts. The 3 of them didn't take the monkey troops' encirclement seriously, considering it posed no threat. However, the monkeys didn't attack immediately. Roar! Suddenly, the monkeys dispersed, making way for the 9 great venerables at the peak of the great venerable realm monkey kings and elders, who climbed over. Respected Supreme Lord, welcome to the monkey troops headquarters, the Monkey King said politely, mimicking a human's forelimbs and speaking in human language. The 8 monkey elders clasped their hands in greeting and followed suit, speaking in human language. Respected Supreme Lord, welcome to the monkey troops headquarters. Yun Bing sneered, glancing at the tightly packed Grand Venerable Realm Order troops surrounding them, and said coldly, is this how you welcome us? The Monkey King waved his hand, signaling the Order troops to disperse, but the Grand Venerable monkeys in the Order troops were somewhat restless and did not immediately retreat. Roar! The Monkey King roared. Only then did the Order troops gradually move away, leaving the area, but in the nearby trees and bushes, sharp eyes were fixed on them. Last time, Xiao Ye brought Yunzai here and killed several space-type monkeys, making these monkeys dislike humans. Supreme Lord, welcome to the monkey troops headquarters. Please proceed to the main hall in the tree cave, we will treat you well, the Monkey King said, clasping his hands in greeting. Yunzai and Yun Bing were twin sisters, looking exactly alike, and these monkeys mistook Yun Bing for Yunzai. Xiao Ye's lips twitched. This Monkey King was so polite that he was finding it hard to bring himself to kill the monkey-type magical beast. However, he had to kill the space-type magical beast, the monkey, because he absolutely needed the space-type rule fragments. Yun Bing snorted coldly, No need. We're not here as guests. I need 50 Grandmaster level monkeys. Will you hand them over yourself, or should I go and catch them? The Monkey King was stunned and didn't speak. The Monkey Elder was indignant and furious. 50? Our entire clan only has 500. 50 this time, 100 next time. Your Majesty, let's fight her to the death. That's right, so what if she's a supreme? If we attack together, she'll be badly injured, even if she doesn't die. They're both space-type attributes. Let's seal off the space and kill these two little adulterers. The Monkey King coldly shouted. Shut up. The noisy commotion instantly fell silent. The Monkey King took a deep breath, his expression one of suppressed grief and indignation. Find out the crippled, sick, and dull-witted monkeys in the tribe, gather 50 of them, and present them to the Supreme One. From the moment we were captured here, we had to be prepared to be kept in captivity and slaughtered. Your extreme ideas will only lead to the extinction of the entire monkey troop. The 8 peak Grand Venerable level monkey elders were agitated, 2 or 3 of them lunging directly at Xiao Ye and Mu Qingsu. Tear. Yun Bing waved her hand, unleashing her spatial blade, talon skill. 3 invisible, colorless, and elusive spatial blades cleaved across, instantly splitting the 3 Grand Venerable level monkey elders in 2. PFFT. A pungent, fishy-smelling spray of blood splattered, covering the Monkey King and the other monkey elders. Yun Bing waved her hand, and the sprayed crimson blood was blocked by the spatial barrier. The Monkey King and the monkey elders were stunned. One-hit kill. How is that possible? Is the Supreme Realm really that powerful? Is being separated by a single realm destined to be insurmountable? They were filled with anger, sorrow, and fear of Yun Bing's strength, and fear of being killed, cleaved in 2, and dying instantly. Xiao Ye activated the template adjuster's extraction function. The 6 halves of the corpse on the ground, cleaved in 2, were ultimately reduced to powder and dissipated into the air under the extraction power. Great Venerable Realm Space-type Magical Beast, successfully extracted 4 Space-type Rule Fragment Crystals. Great Venerable Realm Space-type Magical Beast, successfully extracted 2 Creation-type and 2 Space-type Rule Fragment Crystals. Great Venerable Realm Space-type Magical Beast, successfully extracted 1 Creation-type and 3 Space-type Rule Fragment Crystals. Grandmaster Realm Magical Beasts can extract 1 crystal. Great Grandmaster Realm 2, Venerable Realm 3, Great Venerable Realm 4, and Mortal Realm Magical Beasts cannot withstand the extraction power and cannot extract any. The 3 Great Venerable Realm Magical Beasts extracted a total of 3 Creation-type and 9 Space-type Rule Fragment Crystals. Looking at the grief-stricken Monkey King and Elder, Yun Bing said impatiently, "It seems you've made your choice, very good." With that, Yun Bing waved her hand, activating her spatial teleportation talent skill. 50 Grandmaster level space-type monkeys were instantly teleported nearby and their space was sealed by spatial solidification, rendering them immobile. The Monkey King anxiously looked at the monkeys. Some were exceptionally talented, some were strong and powerful, and some were the offspring of the elders. Thinking of the monkey's impending fate, the Monkey King howled in anguish, and the elder was filled with grief and indignation. Spatial solidification makes space like a quagmire, slowing down and imprisoning enemies according to the difference in strength. Yun Bing directly sealed off this space. Even if they were at the peak of the Great Venerable Realm, they couldn't move an inch. Even if they were space-type attributes, they couldn't break free from the special seal of a high-level supreme. Xiao Ye, we have 50 magical beasts, what should we do next? Yun Bing asked curiously. Xiao Ye replied, just kill them. Kill them? Yun Bing's beautiful eyes widened in surprise. She could obtain a special rule fragment crystal so easily? She, a high-level supreme being, had nearly lost her life in the chaotic space before successfully condensing just 2 rule fragment crystals. Her spatial blade talent skill activated. A 50-meter-long spatial blade materialized, and Yun Bing swung it, slashing towards the 50 special monkeys. PFFT. 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 50 demonic beast heads shot into the sky, spraying blood dozens of meters high like jets of water. Xiao Ye immediately activated the template adjuster's extraction function. Under the effect of the extraction power, the corpses' bodies and heads became dilapidated, a putrid aura emanating from them, before finally turning to dust and disappearing. Grandmaster level space-type magical beast, Successfully extracted 2 Space-type Rule Fragment Crystals. Grandmaster Level Space-type Magical Beast. Successfully extracted 1 Creation Type and 1 Space-type Rule Fragment Crystal. Grandmaster Level Space-type Magical Beast. A total of 76 Space-type and 24 Creation Type Rule Fragment Crystals were extracted. At this point, Xiao Ye possessed 85 Space-type Crystals, 85, far exceeding the 50 required for the upgrade template. End of this chapter. Thank you so much for reading until the end. Don't forget to give it a like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription or donation encourages us to continue. Thank you all. See you in the next video.